There's so many. Has anyone been to them all?
Not likely.
I want to be the first one to see them all.
Truly wonderful the mind of a child is.
Come on. When you find people who need your help, you help them. No matter what.
Good luck.
We have hope. Hope that things can get better. And they will.
Stand up together. Because that's when we're strongest. As one.
You won't be going alone. You'll have a friend with you.
No. I'll have a Jedi with me.
You might wanna buckle up, baby.
Rise
in the Force.
Take care of us, little one.
It'll take care of you. We had each other. That's how we won.
The Force is strong in my family.
Its energy surrounds us and binds us.
What is it they've sent us?
Hope.
Hello there. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Nerdy Cantina. This is the show where we discuss all things Star Wars by answering questions presented by our good friends over there at Insight Editions. Hashtag not a sponsor. But if they do want to be a sponsor, just give us a call. We'll take your calls anytime, day or night. No problem. I am your host, Ryan of Anti-Quote Channel. And joining us on this program, we actually got some returning favorites, also some new people coming in here. So this is going to be a lot of fun. But I got to introduce my co-host first. So please welcome Jen to the stage. Jen, welcome back. It's good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me back. I am so pumped for this one.
I mean, who wouldn't be? This is where greatness lies, is on this show. And not to be
True to that, man.
I know.
We bring it.
We do. We really do. We turn things up to 11. And also join us on this episode is someone we're very happy to have with us. She's happy to be here. We're happy to have her back. She's been hitting the books. She's been acing all her courses in the School of Law. Yes. She's going to be walking out the door pretty soon to that Law and Order theme song. That's going to be her entrance theme every time she walks into a courtroom.
I'm going to hire her.
Exactly. Yeah, we're all going to hire her. She's going to be the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be when it comes to law school graduates. Please welcome Grace to the stage.
Hi, guys. Wow, what an intro. I mean, I wish you guys could be with me at all times in real life. I need this sort of hype.
Sure. No problem. Just FaceTime me.
Yeah, you can FaceTime us. You can DM us. You can always give us a holler. Ask us, hey, I'm going through a rough patch. Can you help me out with it? Sure, we're more than happy to help you out. That's not a problem because we had each other. That's how we won. You know, that's how we won. That's exactly how we won. But also, one thing that also is true is that to complete this fantastic group of 4 people, we have a newcomer to the stage, and this is a member of the big sci-fi podcast crew. We've had his partner in crime, as it were. Speaking of law school, Adina has been on with us, but Adina is busy with other commitments. But we do have one of her tag team partners in the studio. Brian is here with us. Brian, welcome into the Nerdy Cantina, sir. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing excellent. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Jen. Hey, Grace. Good to be with you guys.
Hey.
Thank you very much for being with us, Brian. We're happy to have you here. We're happy to have everyone here. And if this is your first time here watching the Nerdy Cantina, welcome. Don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. If you have any thoughts, feelings, comments, concerns about anything going on in the galaxy known as Star Wars, whether it's the movies, the books, the games, the other stuff, just let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Be more than happy to take those as they come in. But in the meantime, we are going to be taking questions from the box full of cards. So the first question that's up for grabs here on this episode of the Nerdy Cantina, just to be a little bit more specific. So the question to the table, I should say, is this: Where would your happy place be specifically in the Star Wars universe, Jen? Where would your happy place be?
Oh, happy place?
Yeah, like Happy Gilmore, your own happy place. Does anyone remember that movie from back in the day? Because I watched that a lot as a kid. I was there. I remember watching.
A happy place in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, where would it be? Where would it be? That's the question. Where would you put it?
That's gotten a lot harder with the expansion of the universe, and we keep getting introduced to new worlds because it's the possibilities are endless. I'm gonna say,
yeah.
I can't remember. Well, no, not that one. I'm gonna go with Naboo.
You took Grace's answer.
I'm not even gonna come up with another answer. I'll give my own justification.
You copied off her paper. Come on.
How did I copy off the paper? I didn't even see the paper. I just jumped in my head.
No,
it's a good choice.
You use your Jedi mind tricks to copy off her paper.
This is very true.
You did.
True. Yeah,
this is your problem. This is a big problem. We may have to put you in detention for next week's course. But that's all right. Do they even do that in law school anymore? Probably not. I don't think there is a detention in law school. And even if there was, it wouldn't be in the school. They probably put you in the boiler room somewhere. I don't know. No, I'm kidding, by the way. I'm kidding. I'm making this up as I go. That's what they did in Raiders of the Lost Ark. It happens all the time, Grace. I'm sorry.
Right.
Never mind. I'm making this up as I go. I mean, I can go after that truck that's outside my apartment building, but how am I going to do it? I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go. So, Grace, I apologize that our friend and co-host Jen copied off your paper, but where would your happy place in Star Wars be?
Whoa, no, please, Jen never talked about why Naboo. I feel like we have the end of her answer.
Justification, is that it? Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, we need some justification here for the court because we have the judge and the jury that's watching this in the comfort of their own home.
No, I don't mind breaking it down.
No.
Just from what I know of the planets, because I'm not well versed with all the planets as I should be. I really like how there's different areas. Like there's an area where it's all city and culture, but then when you have the scene on the lake where you can actually get away from that and have a different sense of scenery, it's all not the same. Like for Coruscant, nothing against Coruscant, but it's all one giant planet city. There's no change. There's no diversity, if you will, as far as landscape. So I really, when it comes to Naboo, I actually like that. Where you can be somewhere where it's in the city, full of people, but then there's places to escape to get away from that busyness, especially if you just want to go somewhere quiet and not Dagobah. So that's why I would pick Naboo.
Dagobah.
Brian's like, why would you pick that? No, I'm kidding. Too many swamp holes
Ben,
there, man.
Dagobah. Yeah.
That's a great
the part
impression.
of Star Wars
Oh
I
my
hate
gosh.
the most. Luke Skywalker like a baby. Ben, Dagobah.
Ben.
I hate that. That's the worst scene in all of Star Wars, if you ask me.
Is that scene on Hoth when he's hallucinating?
Yeah.
Ben.
And then he's in a diaper when he's in the Bacta tank. You're right.
Yeah.
It is kind of a bad run, isn't it?
Yeah, he doesn't even say anything during that scene. He's just hooked up to all the machinery, right?
And you know what? Obi-Wan in the new show was not in a diaper.
Yeah,
and that technically takes place after those events. What
he looks pretty good. Like, I don't know. Like, he somehow pulled off the Bacta tank.
Yeah, it's like he still gets to keep his clothes on. Wait a minute. What happened?
Yeah. Very confusing.
I mean, you want to flip it on its positive side. 3PO drops that line on him right after the Bacta tank. Master Luke, sir, it's so good to see you fully functional again. Thank you, 3PO. It's like, okay, we get it. Ben, I got to get the shelter up, kid. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
But you know what, Brian, I got to be honest with you, man. I thought they smelled bad on the outside. Oh,
right.
Anyway, I'm passing out here.
I just listened to the radio drama. Have you guys listened to the classic radio drama of all three of the original?
I haven't.
No, I haven't.
Find it on YouTube. It's fantastic. And it's all a bunch of added extra scenes too. Like you get a lot more of this backstory, and that whole scene on Hoth is like, it's just the Luke Skywalker, I think, was actually portrayed by Mark Hamill in the radio broadcast. Just it was relentless. It was even worse than the film. It was just bad.
Worse.
Oh, no.
Ben. What's Dagobah? Dagobah. Anyway, I'm sorry. We can harp on this thing all night
I was
long.
gonna say, let's see how you all handle being in like sub-zero temperatures and trying to retain consciousness. How would you react?
No,
exactly. We've all had some practice recently with like the crazy cold snap. I can tell I would not handle it well.
No. But the best thing that came out of those sequences, at least with the Hoth scenes and the Tauntauns, was the meme that goes around the internet. It's been going around for many, many years now, where Luke's on his Tauntaun and it says, "We're going to the grocery store. You need anything?" That's the best thing to come out of that.
So good.
There's a lot of good Star Wars
memes.
There are.
Yeah. If you ever find any that I may be missing, Jen or Grace, feel free to send them to me via DM. I'd like to see those memes if you find any that I'm not overly familiar with. But outside of the greatness that's Naboo, which we brought up an image of that earlier here on the show. Grace, where would your happy place be? And if it is Naboo, it's okay. We don't mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say Naboo. I was gonna say specifically Padme's lake house on Naboo because I'm a big fan of water and swimming and water sports. So I feel like there would be like a nice, I don't know, fun element to living there. And then of course, like who doesn't want to live in a beautiful palace in, the Italian countryside? Looks great. Have a servant who like brings you a single pear on a platter, like sign me up. Like, I don't know. It really checks all the boxes for me. But hearing Jen talk about it, I also like some of your more intellectual thoughts on why Naboo really resonated with me. Like, you're right. It's a planet that's known for artisans and culture and history and politics. So I feel like it would actually be an interesting place to live as well, not only a beautiful place.
Yeah, because I feel like with me, one of the things that I've learned about myself growing up over the years is I really appreciate the history of things. I'm always intrigued by, because I live in New York. So sometimes with some of the historic buildings, I always wonder, what is that building? How did it get here? Why is it still here? Why wasn't it demolished like anything else? Why did we demolish everything?
Yeah.
So whenever I see like some of our historic buildings still there, I'm like, oh, thank God you lived. So I'm always intrigued by that, just learning the history of things.
Have any of you guys read the Padme books?
I have not.
I have them on my shelf.
I have heard good things about them, but I have not read them yet. No.
They're really great, and I feel like they get in a little bit more to like the Naboo history and culture.
Ooh.
I might. Okay. I mean, I do like Naboo as an environment, so I may have to read those books now.
And I stand hard for the Padme books generally because I think they do a really good job of explaining some of the kind of like weird elements of her character that we see in Phantom Menace or even Attack of the Clones. It will be like, like why is she talking in the weird voice in Phantom Menace? Who are all these handmaidens? Like why is there a 14-year-old queen? Like some of these questions are kind of like smoothed over in the books, which I really appreciated.
Fair enough. Have to look up those books.
And people need to also realize the age gap between Anakin and Padme is not that much. People are like, oh my gosh, she dates calm down. It's like 3-5 years. It's not that bad.
It's not terrible. No.
It's not terrible. Fine.
Yeah, they can have a field day with that on Psychology Today.
Oh my God.
I know. Does anyone remember that periodical? Oh my gosh. That thing was everywhere. Psychology Today, that was everywhere, Brian. Everywhere. Do you remember those little shops? When Barnes Noble booksellers had, they still do, but like, magazine aisles were packed with those things. And then even when you went to places like Borders or Bibelo, which was another mom and pop place, I don't know if anyone remembers that, but my gosh, I saw all these different scientific magazines, and I'm thinking, who can read this stuff? This is above my pay grade. I have a hard enough time making it through geometry, man. You think I want to read Psychology Today? Algebra. Yeah, that was another problem for me.
Oh my
God.
God.
Notice that? Did anyone notice? Did anyone else have any trouble with that when they were a kid? Because I did.
Yeah.
It
sucked.
I had
We're just like, no.
I was like, algebra, geometry? What the heck is this? I don't need this nonsense. Get this out of here. I'd rather do Movieology 101. Give me a movie course. And I'll ace that one for sure. But then again, they have those available to you at local colleges. So if you want to take electronic media and film courses like I did, please take as many as you can and learn from them, because it'd be quite fascinating when you learn the secrets behind certain films that were made or almost didn't get made. Let me put it to you that way. There's a lot of behind the scenes stories that come up during these college courses. It's fascinating stuff. But outside of that, good Lord, Brian, I know your happy place is nowhere going to be near the planet Hoth system. I know it's not.
No,
but if there is a happy place for you that has nothing to do with gargantuan robots stampeding on your front doorstep and tauntauns freezing their insides off and having to cut them open just to make a new coat for yourself, where's your happy place in Star Wars going to be?
Does it have to be a planet?
I mean, it could be. It doesn't have to be necessarily.
It doesn't have to be.
That's what we mean why these questions can sometimes get deep, because if it's very vague, you can answer it however you want.
Yeah, you can go however you want. It's fine. You can go off the reservation. It's fine.
So besides the planet Naboo, because who doesn't love frolicking through ridiculously tall fields of grass and wrestling with someone you're in love with?
I
forgot about that.
Why not Naboo?
Behind you.
Yeah, you want to have a nice private makeout area with your spouse or whoever it is. And then, you got plenty of room on Naboo. That's true.
And then you can ride very strange looking beasts that so after you're done wrestling, you can ride the beast or do it the other way around or do it all at the same time. I don't care. But I really, if I had a place that I could be for a long period of time, I'd want to hang out on the Millennium Falcon, if I'm being honest. I would just love to hang out. I'm going to let Chewie beat me every time. I'm not going to, I just want to sit in that cockpit and just watch the magic and the stars flying by. I just, talk about the good old days.
That's a good choice.
That's my choice.
Love it.
But I do like a good frolic in a field, though. And when I do that, I prefer to do it on Naboo.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about being in the Millennium Falcon is you can fly to Naboo, so you can always go there and do that frolic.
There you go.
On Naboo with that thing.
Yeah.
You guys are stuck. I get to go to all the planets.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I want Naboo and Padme's pretty silver ship.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe it's called what is it called? The Naboo Star Cruiser? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Star Cruiser.
Star Cruiser, is that what they call it? That's a technical term. Okay, great. Wonderful. We're all going to be fine.
Took them a long time to come up with that. Yeah. The Star Cruiser. What should we call this thing? Star Cruiser. That's what we should call it.
Something or other.
It cruises the stars.
Cruises the stars all along the galaxy. Oh my God. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. Great choices by all three of our wonderful panelists here. I just want to make that perfectly clear. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't want a copy of everyone's paper because that's just cheating. I don't, because the Millennium Falcon's a really good ship and I like it a lot. But I mean, who doesn't? Honestly, the Falcon's great. It's the ship that made the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs. I mean, I've outrun Imperial starships, not the local ball cruisers, mind you. We're talking about the big Carillion ships now. So, Brian, she's fast enough for you, old man.
Yeah.
It's so good. What's another really? I'm trying to think if there's any other cool ships in Star Wars, but there really aren't. I mean, they're all the evil ones. I don't want to go on a Star Destroyer. Get out of here.
You're technically wearing a Sith shirt. So.
I mean, I am. I know. So technically, I guess I should go with Slave One if I'm being honest. Maybe Slave One. Boba Fett's ship.
That's a good ship, man.
Yeah.
May not be a bad one. What was it called before it got blown up? The Razor Crest from season 1 of Mandalorian. That was a good looking ship. How about let's go with Razor Crest. I'm going with the Razor Crest. I'm going with Razor Crest.
All right.
Because then you get to be with Grogu and Mando. That's cute.
Yeah. Let's be with the child and feed him frog ladies eggs and cookies and milk. And
so cute.
He basically was committing genocide.
How many did you eat? He's like, huh?
Yeah, he was basically committing genocide by eating all those eggs. So, nice job there, child.
Baby.
A funny story on the egg slurping, actually. Last term, we had a case that we read for one of my law classes about a dog that was slurping its neighbor's like chicken eggs or something. And all I could think about the entire time we were reading the case was like Grogu.
Lord. There's one for the law school books, isn't it? Law school may come up a lot on this show. I don't know why. But anyway, for those of you wondering what the bantha fodder is going on, aside from the child eating an innocent woman's frog eggs, this is the Nerdy Cantina talking all things Star Wars and law school and everything else in between. Don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about the Star Wars galaxy far, far away, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. We're more than happy to get to those as they come in respectively. And if you're watching this live or what is known as a replay, thank you for being with us. We cannot do this without you. With that being said, I think we've talked enough about happy places in law school classes that have an interesting caseload featuring eggs. Did you take one of my eggs? Does anyone remember the scene?
I know where that's from.
Does anyone remember the scene from this wonderful little film? It's called The Rescuers Down Under with Joanna and McLeach.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so good.
Okay,
Both
Grace, let me set the scene for you. So McLeach is trying to fix himself something to eat. And he says, I need something. I need protein. Gotta have eggs. Joanna is slobbering at the fact that he's about to bring out the eggs from the fridge.
That whole scene is fantastic.
It's
the way Joanna eats those eggs.
It's one of the weirdest, funniest things you're ever going to see in a Disney animated feature. And by the way, this was during the very beginning of the Disney Renaissance.
Okay.
The very beginning.
Yes.
So if you want to go back and see the origins a little bit, if you don't mind me saying so, of the Disney Renaissance.
And I think too, in Disney history, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it was actually the first Disney sequel that they ever did.
Yes, it was. Yeah,
it was the first Disney sequel that they ever did, and it was actually really well done.
The Rescuers Down Under is the name of the second film in that.
Disney Renaissance and the first.
I like that better than the original.
See, everybody keeps telling me how the original was better. I'm like, what movie are you talking about? The Rescuers Down Under is fantastic.
I think both of them are a delight, and I really like with Down Under how the story expanded and it made sense with the original.
So good. It's so good. But yes, if you look up the scene called Joanna versus McLeach or Joanna and McLeach and the eggs.
Yeah. So good.
Face, you're gonna have like your face is gonna hurt so bad from smiling. And
you're gonna think of Grogu the entire time.
Oh, amazing. Say less. I'm in.
Please go to your local streaming service that is not a sponsor of this show. It's called Disney Plus. Watch The Rescuers Down Under. Do you have access to that? I'm assuming that you do.
Yeah.
Okay. So watch
everyone on this panel should have Disney Plus.
Yeah. you okay, Grace. I need you to do me a huge favor. Watch The Rescuers Down Under either tonight if you have the moment to spare, and if not, you can watch it tomorrow or later on this week when you have some time after your studies are done. But please watch the movie and then DM Jen, myself, and Brian and let us know what you think. Can you do that?
Okay, deal.
You got to DM us. I want to hear all your thoughts, all your feelings, all your emotions about the greatness that is The Rescuers Down Under. Can you do that?
Okay, I can do it. Yeah.
Yay!
Did you take one of my eggs? These are not Joanna eggs. They're not Joanna eggs.
So good.
It's so weird and twisted that this animal is obsessed with eggs, but at the same time, it's so funny. So it's weird. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's funny.
That freaked me out in the theater. I saw that in the theater, and that freaked me out. That guy freaked me out as a kid.
You saw that in the theater?
In the theater, yeah.
I'm so jello of you, man. I wish I could have been there for that.
Obviously, the oldest person here now.
What are you talking about? You're only 25. Get out of here.
Stop it. I remember certain Disney films I saw growing up. I saw Beauty and the Beast when it came out. I saw The Lion King.
I saw The Lion King in theaters. I was there.
Yeah, there was quite a few Disney movies I saw in theaters growing up, and I actually remember seeing these films.
I saw Lion King in theaters. I remember. I think that was one of the first Disney movies I ever saw in the theater. Was Lion King.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one too.
Are you kidding me? The opening scene with Circle of Life. I mean, come
on.
Oh
man.
By the way, our friend Adina is here with us, and she says Brian is almost as old as me. Smiley
face. Adina.
Adina. Oh my gosh. Brian is almost as old as me. Oh Lord.
Thanks, Adina.
Yeah.
Which means she's like 35, right?
Yeah, is she? Adina, are you 35? Let us know in the comments. I'm just kidding. But anyway, the question that I have for everybody here, if you don't mind me saying so, but yes, we all know what Grace's homework is after the show. The Rescuers Down Under. Did you take one of my eggs? Oh gosh, that scene is so good.
You need that on a t-shirt, Brian.
That's it.
What's that?
You need that on a t-shirt.
I should. Did you take one of my eggs? These are not Joanna eggs. You know, there really needs to be more Rescuers Down Under merchandise because there is really hardly anything for those movies on social media. There is nothing.
That should be an episode because I feel like there's a lot of Disney content where they don't make merchandise for.
We should get more Rescuers Down Under merchandise. I want a Joanna shirt. Honestly, I want a Joanna t-shirt.
I want Bianca.
Miss Bianca. Yeah,
I love Bianca.
You like Bianca? I like them both. I like Wilbur too. I like Wilbur.
Wilbur is a delight.
Yeah, Wilbur was great. By the way, Wilbur was played by the late great John Candy. Rest in peace, John Candy. Rest in peace, good sir. By the way, Adina Mignona goes on to say, "This is the year known as the one that the one they all turned 50." It's okay. Listen, age is just a bloody number. And then she clarifies, yeah, this is the year known as the one they all turned 50. It's all good, Adina. It's fine. It's just a number. Don't let it slow anybody down. I'm just throwing that out there. So here's the question. Aside from the fact that Grace is going to enjoy the living heck out of that movie tonight, let me tell you.
Not tonight. You overestimate me. It's already past my bedtime.
Oh, get out of here. It's early where you are. Get out of here. It's only 6:30 where you are. Get out of here. Anyway. It's excuses. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Take your time. Watch it later. The question is for everyone on the table: if you were a kid, which we already are because none of us ever age, if you were a kid, would you rather go to what is known as a summer camp on the planet of Kashyyyk with the Wookiees, or on Endor with the Ewoks, and why, Grace?
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna go with the Ewoks on Endor because I like the forested setting. My family is from the Pacific Northwest, so I appreciate like mountainous regions with big trees and like lots of nature and not a lot of people around. And I love the little treehouse setting that the Ewoks live in. I think that would be an awesome place for a summer camp. Honestly, I'm kind of concerned, like, why doesn't that already exist? Like, that should exist for kids. Maybe it does in California, who knows? And I think the Ewoks would be a good time. There might be some communication issues. You know, as a kid, I would want to figure out how I was going to talk to the Ewoks. Would I need to learn their language? Would I bring my droid? Would they learn English? We'd figure out those logistics, and then I think it would be great.
That's fair. Just bring the droid because I don't know what they're saying. Dingo fingo wah. I don't get it. I'm pulling a Tom Hanks here. I still don't get it. I'm sorry. I've watched way too many movies this week because I've been under the weather, unfortunately. But anyway, good answer, by the way. Good answer, Grace. Thank you for sharing that with us. Do greatly appreciate it. Jen, not that you aren't already a kid, because let's face it, we're all kids here. But if you were a kid, which you already are, right? Would you rather go to summer camp on Kashyyyk with the Wookiees, or are you going to sit down with the little teddy bears on Endor with the Ewoks, and why?
That's really hard. I really love Grace's answer, but then I'm going to go with Kashyyyk, because when I was doing the playthrough of Jedi Fallen Order, and when you get to go to Kashyyyk in that game and do a lot of the exploration, and then with the newer shows that have come out where Kashyyyk has been incorporated, and again, going back to what we're saying with the culture of Naboo, I really like how they've expanded the Ewoks and how they relate to nature and how you can learn from them as far as their habitation. So definitely Kashyyyk.
All right, hanging out with the okay.
And I want to speak Wookiee.
Yeah.
I want to be like Han and be able to talk to Chewie. That's now how the Force works.
Will someone get this big walking carpet out of my way?
Are you a language person? Like, how long do you think it would take you to learn Wookiee?
Oh, golly. It would depend. Like, if I've already been around Wookiees to begin with, I probably would anticipate myself picking it up quickly. But then if I've gone cold turkey, yeah, it'll probably take me a minute, and I will have a droid with me. What did they say?
It seems impossible. Like the throat work alone to get those sounds out.
I forget her name, but the character on Tatooine and Mandalorian that we discovered can speak Jawa. If she can learn Jawa, I can learn.
Oh, Peli, yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Oh, Pelimoto. Yeah. Yeah.
That was such a grace. Like, she can speak Jawa.
She's
and
cool.
not only that, I think she had a intimate relationship with one of those.
Yeah.
He did.
Very creepy.
And she confirmed it. I was like, oh.
You were getting your something dark side on with a Jawa. Okay, that's not something I want to hear in the Star Wars galaxy ever again. But apparently humans can be with Jawas. I don't know how that's humanly possible, but hey, stranger things have happened in science fiction landscapes. Let's just put it that way.
Brian.
Takako is here with us.
Yeah. Hi.
Yes, hi, y'all. Good to see you, Takako. Hope everything's well in your neck of the woods. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about Star Wars, please let us know in the comments below. Great to see you, by the way. Great to see anybody who's chatting with us in the chat. It's wonderful to see each and every single one of you. But gosh, Pelimoto. Yeah, I know what you're trying to do. Go fix the machine like I told you to. It's like, get out of here. Yeah, it's like, I don't think you're going to get away with that. You can't do that here. Anyway, Brian, if you were a kid, even though Adina says otherwise in the chat, but I don't care. If you were a kid, which you clearly are, because I can see what you're doing here, would you rather go to summer camp on Kashyyyk with Wookiees, or would you rather hang out with the Ewoks on Endor, and why? What are your thoughts?
I got to go with the Ewoks on Endor because I feel like I could take them in a good wrestling match, and I feel like
I'm flying out for
that. I also feel like we've seen their music, we've seen them love to hear stories, and
true.
Like that's a really fun thing. And then of course the tree houses, but then. I feel like they would be really good to have around on those cold evenings. You just say, I'm in the middle, guys, and they just lay all around you and you're good to go. You don't even need a blanket. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I'm going with the Ewoks on Endor. Of course, does Endor get destroyed totally? No, it doesn't.
No.
Okay. That's still my answer then. That's still my answer then.
Final answer, Brian. Final answer. Go with it. Fair enough. And you make a good point with the whole them being able to make sure you keep warm in case it gets cold. This sounds like a weird pseudo version of that holiday special we all used to watch as kids, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. I mean, that's a lot of teddy bears, man. It's a lot of bears. Anyway, you're like a big bear, man. That's what you are, Brian. You're like a big bear, man. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm so full of pop culture references. I don't know where these things come out of me. It's just weird.
It's a skill.
It is. It's a mad skill, Grace.
That's why the channel is called And I Quote.
It is. True. It's called And I Quote. Because all we do is quote stuff on this show. We quote stuff everywhere we go. And Grace is learning a lot of wonderful new things about the greatness that is Rescuers Down Under. It's a beautiful thing, which I can quote most of that movie to you right now if I wanted to, Grace, but I don't want to ruin the surprise. So I won't do that. I won't subject you to that kind of pain. So, because I know you watch the movie for yourself. You'll love it. If I were a kid, which clearly I still am, even though I got a scruffy-looking nerve herder beard going on here, I don't care what anyone says.
I know,
right, Brian? Yeah, we got this Scruff McGruff here thing going on. But for me, I'm gonna go with the what's it called again? Endor and the Ewoks. Yeah, because I can take them on in a fight if they get in my business. If they got a problem, we can deal with it out in the parking lot. It's fine. And they seem like nice folks, so but with the Wookiees would pull my arm out of my socket when I beat them in that virtual chess game. So I don't want to get my arms ripped out of their sockets. I see your point, sir. I have a new strategy, y'all, too. Let the Wookiee win. So I'm just gonna let that go and just hang out with the teddy bears on what's it called? The Force Moon of Endor. By the way, Takako says, speaking of Endor and the Ewoks, Yub Nub, what is it? Yum Nub, the new music is in re-release. Really?
Oh.
Yub Nub or Yub? Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yub Nub is some of the words that Ewoks use. The new music is in re-release now. Oh wow, really?
That's cool.
I did not know that. I was not aware of that. Let us know if there's a link out there we should be checking out. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I think that is this a reference to the fact that the original version of Return of the Jedi had this Ewok song, the Yub Nub song, and then they took it out, and instead it just kind of has the background music. Yeah, I think that she said or so.
Yeah.
because the re-release now doesn't have the Yub Nub song or something. But I'm too young, so I never was around to see the original version, so I don't know the Yub Nub song.
Well, it's okay. Most of us
Do
weren't. But
you guys want to know? I'm sorry, Ryan. Do you guys want to know how I first watched the original 3 Star Wars films?
Yeah.
You say no. I'm still gonna. No.
Yeah, he's not that old.
You didn't see them in theaters?
I did not see them in theaters. I saw them when I was a teenager on VHS, recorded off of cable television, with all the commercials still in there. That is how I saw them first.
Wow.
Yeah, cool. I was introduced to Star Wars when I was 4 years old, and my family already had the first set of VHSs that came out. So I watched all of them when I was a kid, when I was 4 years old on VHS. But yes, the days of recording shows on VHS.
Yeah. Or movies on VHS.
Yeah, or movies on cable TV. Heck yeah.
My family recorded the Family Circus animated series back in the day. The Family Circus Easter special, the Family Circus Christmas special, all that stuff. I think they even taped Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas off network television at one point. It was crazy. And the other thing they recorded for me as a kid, I think this was on, what was it? It was either HBO or Showtime. It was one of the two, I think it was. Or maybe it was even Cinemax. They recorded The Never-Ending Story.
Oh.
Cable television. Yeah. Yeah, The Never-Ending Story, which, by the way,
trauma film.
Wow.
Well, it will put someone in a trauma. But I will say this. That movie turns a very healthy-looking 40 years young this year.
It's turning 40?
Yes, The Never-Ending Story turns 40 this year. And we will be celebrating that right here on this very channel that you are watching right now. So we're going to have a great big live stream celebration. We do this thing called Movie Watch Along, where we watch a movie that's celebrating a certain anniversary or turns a certain age. You basically watch us watching the movie, and we do our own version of Mystery Science Theater 3000. You can watch the movie in the comfort of your own home, too, if you have access to physical media or what is known as a streaming service. So feel free to check out our playlist. We got dozens and dozens of movies that we've watched, including some Star Wars and Star Trek movies. On that list, which, speaking of Star Trek, you know, The Search for Spock turns 40 this year, and we will be celebrating that later this year, Brian.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We will be celebrating that. It's coming up, man. It's coming. You know, here's a little preview for you, Brian. So next weekend, we're going to be celebrating what is known as the 30th anniversary of one of the greatest comedy films of the 90s, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Yes!
Turns 30. Yeah, it's a true story, Grace. It's a true story.
Wow, that's crazy.
That movie made me want to be a movie star. That is the movie that made me want to be a movie star when I was a kid, Grace. That is
my
a true
first
story.
Jim Carrey was The Mask.
There you go. Same year. Came out the same year.
And then the second movie was Ace Ventura.
Same year.
I have never laughed so much during those movies in my young life when I first saw them. Oh my gosh, they're so funny.
Yep. We will be celebrating The Mask too, because that turns 30 as well, Jen.
Oh wow, both of them turned 30?
Not only that, we're not going to celebrate this third one that Jim Carrey had out that year, but Dumb and Dumber turns 30 as well.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Jim Carrey had a banner year in 94. He had a banner year.
He really did.
But two of those three films are going to be celebrated right here on this very channel. So make sure you subscribe to that channel so you can be notified of when those videos go live. And then the following week after Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, because that's coming up on Sunday, February the 4th, I believe. The week after that, we're going to be celebrating what is known as the 25th anniversary of Keanu Reeves' The Matrix.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I love Matrix.
25 years, Brian.
We just covered that on the Big Sci-Fi. We just covered that on the Big Sci-Fi.
You cheated. You copied off my paper and you did it 2 weeks early. How dare you?
The audacity, sir.
We had no idea it was an anniversary. We just
what? Oh well, it is. This year it is. Yeah, 25 years.
And that's the film Will Smith always regrets that he
turned that one down.
He regrets that one.
He turned that one down. That could have been a huge.
I didn't know that.
Will Smith was approached to play Neo, and he declined the offer. And then after he saw everything, that's the one film he's like, I should have done The Matrix.
I think there's a lot of things, Will.
I mean,
I was gonna say, I feel like he has some other.
He hasn't made any money.
Yeah, no, there's other things, but movie-wise, he has mentioned that a number of times in a number of interviews. He has brought it up occasionally.
Matrix. Although I don't know, I wonder what it would have been like if he had showed up to that movie. That would
I was just thinking the same thing. Like, what would it have been like?
What version would we have gotten if Will Smith turned out to be the one Neo? Or, because Keanu Reeves is so good, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like when he puts on those shades and that black trench coat, bro,
and he does his Superman thing.
He does his Superman thing, does the lean back of the slow-mo. I mean, come on.
I love The Matrix. Oh my God.
You should tune in on February the 11th when we celebrate the 25th anniversary. We're going to be doing it. So
join.
Yeah, maybe we'll get you on set. We could put you down for a one-way ticket. We'll see. But we're going to be celebrating lots of movies this year, which include Never-Ending Story, Arnold Schwarzenegger's The Terminator turns 40, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom turns the big 40 as well. You got Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade turning 35. You got Tim Burton's Batman turning 35. I mean,
oh my gosh!
I mean,
wow.
Look at if you look at the list of movies that we're going to be celebrating this year, it is a very it's a legendarily long list, Grace. It's a very, very long list. I'm not going to lie. But it's going to be fun. And speaking of Star Wars, we're going to be doing a Star Wars May the 4th spectacular. We're going to be celebrating the 25th anniversary of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. It's going to be turning 25.
Okay.
Yeah, for a lot of people, that was their entry point into Star Wars as a whole, because the prequels made a huge impact on a certain generation of kids. So we're going to be doing that. Our plan is for May the 4th to do that. So if you want to join us or be on the panel, or you just want to join us in the chat, you're more than welcome to do so. More details will be released when we get closer. These are so far away, Grace. These are so far away.
So far.
But yeah, Ace Ventura and The Matrix are coming up within the next 2 weeks of each other. So you may want to tune in for that and watch the movie at home along with us. I think you're going to enjoy both films for two completely different sets of reasons, because one's a straight up comedy and one is a cyber freakish sci-fi conspiracy. So yeah, you just gotta take the red pill or the blue pill. Anyway, aside from that, Takako has been living it up in the chat. She says, I saw Empire Strikes Back in the theater back in the day.
Wow.
Oh wow.
I'm jello of you on that,
Nice.
my friend. I'm jello of you on that. I would have killed to have been to be in a theater with 300 screaming people to see the original trilogy back in the day. But I will say this. She says, I didn't see A New Hope on the big screen until I was in college. Takako says, okay, gotcha on that. No problem. She says, I love The Matrix too. Well, guess what? And then she says the sequels, not so much. That's because the sequels never happened. There were no sequels. There are no sequels.
There were sequels.
There were never any sequels.
We need to. It's out there.
No, it's not. It's not out there.
Yes, it is.
Not out there.
Like like other prequels from a certain franchise that we all love on this channel.
Not everybody. Not everybody. Brian, not everybody likes the prequels, including me. I got problems. I got serious issues with those three movies. But hey, I can watch Phantom Menace any day of the week and twice on Sunday. You want to know why? Because we got Duel of the Fates, Darth Maul, and Liam Neeson is a freaking Jedi, which I don't have a problem with.
Liam Neeson's such a great cast.
Well, Liam Neeson's a great guy. You know, speaking of Liam Neeson, we actually had a mention of him last week. The big film known as Taken turned 15 last week, and we celebrated that here on Movie Watch Along. So feel free to check out that in the playlist. We talked about Liam Neeson a lot and our appreciation for the greatness that is Liam Neeson. So feel free to go back and watch it. By the way, Taken's a great film. Have you seen that one, Grace? Have you seen Taken?
No.
You've never seen Taken?
No,
Really?
I haven't seen so many movies unless it's Star Wars or Indiana Jones. I usually haven't seen it.
Wow. Okay. Well, you got to watch. I think
you got the other bases covered, so you're fine.
I think do you like action movies? I like action movies.
Okay,
yeah,
well, I like movies
Taken is nothing but pure action. So
okay.
And it's an hour and 25 minutes long. It's one of the shortest films in the history of film.
Grace has never seen Taken. We do a thing on the Big Sci-Fi occasionally called Confession Time. I have to go backwards. I've never seen Terminator.
The original?
Neither have I.
Wow.
I have never seen the original Terminator. Grace, you haven't either? Wow. I'm not alone.
No,
in the
yeah.
world.
I haven't seen any Terminator.
Yeah.
I don't even know what Terminator is about. Is it also an action movie?
Gosh. Wow.
Woo!
Wow.
I'm excited.
Grace,
watch it now.
Grace.
I don't know. I hope
Well, this actually goes for both of you, but Brian and Grace, when you sit down and watch the pure cinematic greatness that is 1984's The Terminator, which back in the day was made on a shoestring budget with a budding, young, up-and-coming filmmaker by the name of James Cameron.
Yep.
And the limited resources that he had to work with making that movie, they had to shoot it guerrilla style because they couldn't get the permits to film a lot of those scenes in the southern back of LA. Your mind is going to be blown of how great that film is with the little budget that they had to make it on.
I've watched so many making of Terminator documentaries. I know a lot about it. I just have never sat down and said I'm going to watch the Terminator.
Got to see the Terminator, and we will be celebrating for its 40th birthday, which I hope you tune in for that, both of you. I think you're really going to enjoy our audio commentary. That's going to be a lot of fun, and it's one of my all-time. Actually, I'll be perfectly honest with you, not to give too much away because I don't want to ruin the movie for you, but it's one of my all-time favorite movies of all time. Honestly, it's in my top 10. That's how good it is.
Oh wow!
It's in my top 10. Cool. It's in my top 10. I'm not going to lie to you. It's in my top 10. So feel free to watch the movie when you get an opportunity, and then you can join us for the anniversary later this year. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Both of you, by the way. Both of you. Please just watch the movie. You'll love it. It's pure greatness. By the way, Dina says, I don't remember anybody screaming in the back of the theaters back in the 80s. Smiley face. Listen, I'm sure people went nuts during certain scenes in Empire Strikes Back. Okay? Just give it a break. And then Adina says, homework assignment for y'all, especially for Grace. Watch the Terminator. Watch the Terminator.
Yeah.
Someday, I know.
That's exactly how she's saying it too. Yeah.
Watch it. Terminator, Grace. Do it. In the words of Shia LaBeouf,
she's a very bossy lady.
Just do it. Anyway, if I were a kid, I'm going to hang out with the things on indoor with Ewoks, whatever it's called. Okay, so
that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Wookiees or Ewoks. Yeah, that's what it was. So for those of you wondering what the bantha fodder is going on and why is Ryan so passionate about this little indie film called The Terminator that's 40 years old, I'll tell you why. Because this is the Nerdy Cantina talking all things Star Wars. At least we're attempting to, anyway. Let us know your thoughts on anything Star Wars or non.
Always attempt to, and it never works.
Non-Star Wars related. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat if you have any thoughts, feelings, comments, concerns, or if you have any concerns about Brian and Grace's movie well-being, considering that they haven't watched some of the greatest films in the history of filmmaking yet. They're going to get to it. Let us know if we're missing anything here. And also, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to all our panelists for being here. Don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. And if you're watching this live or what is known as a replay, thank you. Appreciate you. Here's your next question. Goodness gracious, a lot of history about movies, my God. I feel like I'm on the History Channel all of a sudden. If you were a Jedi hiding in the secret rooms of what is known as the Hidden Path, and I'm not too familiar with this area, what phrase would you carve into the wall, Jen? What phrase would you carve into the wall?
Oh, man. What phrase would I carve into the wall on the Hidden Path?
Which I'm not even familiar with. I don't even
That's like an Obi-Wan, remember? Like
what that is?
Yeah. The Hidden Path is basically like the underground,
like the underground railroad. Yeah.
For Jedi to escape the purge and.
Oh, okay. I
forget what that woman's name is in Obi-Wan, but she works for the Path.
Reva, I think. Reva.
Yeah.
I should remember this. What am I gonna carve on the path?
Or it says what phrase would you carve?
What phrase?
Into the wall is the question. What phrase would you carve into the wall?
Oh man.
Thou shall not be here. No, I'm kidding.
Run for your lives.
Yeah. Run for your lives, kids.
Don't look behind you.
Yeah, because otherwise it may be the alien queen from Alien stalking you.
Or the really tall, dark and Sithy guy in the in the suit of death.
Could be this guy. It could be. Wait a minute. Where's my shirt sleeve? It could be
this
this guy.
Not that one. The other one. He wears a mask.
What phrase?
I can't think of an exact phrase, but I think for me, it would definitely be something encouraging, like from my studies that I feel like when you're a student in college, there's certain things you learn, but then until you experience certain things, those certain meanings don't hit you in that way until you have that life experience. So knowing myself, it would be something like that I probably would remember that someone told me that really impacted me and how it's resonating with me now in that moment of time. I'm not sure what phrase it would be, but that's what I would do to write on the path to encourage others who are going through that.
Yeah.
Words of encouragement.
I gotcha. What about you, Grace? If you're a Jedi in hiding, you're hiding in the secret rooms of the hidden pathway there, what phrase would you carve into the wall? Study your books?
Funny.
I know what Travis would put.
Oh no, I've been really into my High Republic era currently. So
I just started reading those books.
Oh, they're so good. Which one are you on?
I'm in book 2 right now. I literally just started reading.
Yes. Okay, so I would go with the like Jedi catchphrase from the High Republic for light and life. I think that's so beautiful. One. It's inspiring. It brings light during a dark time. Yeah. I'll keep it short and sweet.
I like that one.
Not too shabby. What about you, Brian? If you're a Jedi hiding in the secret rooms of the hidden pathway, what phrase would you carve into the wall?
Yeah, I just want to first say I appreciate you letting me go third so that I have a moment or two to actually think about these questions. Much appreciated.
No problem.
I would say I like the encouraging word kind of thing, but I think I might get a little snarky though. I'd be like, make sure you take time to smell the roses, or don't sweat the little stuff, or don't forget
Down with Lord Helmet,
or brush your teeth. It's still important to brush your teeth. That's what I would say is. But I also like the just genuine run. Maybe you should go to Dagobah. That would be my suggestion. Go to Dagobah. It works for Yoda.
Go to Dagobah. When 900 years look as good, you will not. There's a lot of things I can say about Yoda.
Never look good.
Go to Dagobah.
Go to Dagobah. Just go to. You will go to the Dagobah system. There you will learn from Yoda, the Jedi Master who instructed me. I'm sorry, I could go on a tangent.
Of course, then Yoda would get ticked because he's like, "What? This only works as a good hideout if there's one of us."
Exactly.
Like, now we're
judge me by my size, do you? Not this crude matter. Anyway, I'm sorry, I can't help myself. I got Yoda-isms on the brain. But good answer, though. Good answer. By the way, Takako says, kid, 15 years old. Never let them tell you the odds. And if they do, stick your fingers in their ears and yell, la, 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 I cannot hear you.
That's good advice for life right there.
That's good advice, Takako.
Takako, I can see you doing that.
I could see her doing it too.
Oh gosh, her and her kids.
I can't hear you. It's like that. Isn't there a scene in Brooklyn Nine-Nine where Andy Samberg's like, la 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 la, I cannot hear you.
Probably.
Anybody remember that Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Anybody watch that? I don't know.
That's actually one I haven't seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. I've only seen like little clips here and there because they have reruns of it on cable television because it's a syndicated program now. But yeah, Brooklyn Nine. By the way, rest in peace, Andre Braugher from Brooklyn Nine. Yeah. Very sad. Very sad. Great actor, by the way. Andre Braugher.
Yes,
great actor.
phenomenal actor.
Lots of great performances from him. One of his first gigs was in 1989's Glory with Denzel and Matthew Broderick. And speaking of which, that movie turns the big 3-5 later this year. One of the best war movies of all time. It's called Glory.
35, wow.
Matthew Broderick. That's one of the few films where Matthew Broderick took things seriously. So yeah, because it was a great dramatic performance. It really was.
Yeah,
Matthew Broderick brought his like A++++ game to that role. I mean, honestly, if anyone hasn't seen the war movie Glory, I mean, obviously bring the Kleenex box, but it's really, really good, and it's one of the best true story films ever made. If you haven't seen Glory, look it up. It's one of the best stories about the 54th Massachusetts Regiment. Our hats are off to all the brave men and women who fought during those times. I mean, my gosh. Crazy stuff, crazy, tragic stuff happened during the Civil War. There's no question. Let's see. Takako says it's not me, it's the kid that I would say it to. They
I
get
love it.
they get it from the dad. They get it from the dad. And she says, "I gotta go. See you all later." Takako, we love you.
Takako.
Bye.
Takako, thanks for being here, our friend. We do appreciate you, and don't forget to like and share.
Oh man, I had the delight and pleasure of meeting Takako and her kids in person at New York Comic Con.
New York Comic Con, one of the biggest shows on the planet.
So good.
That's a big show.
MegaCon is stepping up though.
Has anyone seen MegaCon lately?
The guest list of people that are there at the freaking same
A lot of
time.
Star Wars alumni, Brian. There's a lot of Star Wars alumni that are hard to get on
The Princess
paper.
Bride cast.
Princess
The
Bride
Princess
cast.
Bride
Oh my,
cast.
you're kidding.
No, like
Ah.
MegaCon
Wow.
Orlando's trying to get up this year. You got the Star Wars All-Stars. You got the Princess Bride cast.
Yeah.
You have Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston.
Data, who's in Goonies, Never Say Die. Who's also
Ki Kwan.
Yeah. He's going to be there.
I've met him too. He's a nice dude.
There's so many people that are going at the same time, and I'm like, what is happening?
I know.
Oh my God.
Why weren't we invited? Honestly,
Yeah.
all three of us should have been panelists at this thing. We should have been invited for that. Grace could have led a panel.
I want to mod an evening with Hayden, please.
Does Grace want to moderate an evening with Hayden? Probably.
I can absolutely co-host with me. Absolutely.
I'm less interested in him. The only Star Wars person I'd want to like really meet would be Natalie Portman.
Oh, Natalie. Okay.
Oh man, yeah.
And she doesn't ever go to like cons because she's
does
like too famous.
Natalie, if you're watching, please come to start coming to conventions, please.
Yeah. They'd have to pay her an insane amount of money that I don't think they're willing to afford to put her in a convention, which is unfortunate. But hey, some people aren't meant to be at conventions, and Natalie may be one of them. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
she'll
she
get
could
there.
handle it.
She'll
I
get
think
there.
she could handle it. I think she could handle it now that it's been so long. But then again, she does take her work seriously. So.
Yes.
Maybe she doesn't want to do cons. I don't know. But Grace, if she does show up, I'll give you a call, and then you can moderate the evening with.
Yes, no, exactly.
I'll give
I
you
want
a
to meet her, be her best friend, follow her everywhere, like
hang out.
I
with her.
want my life after hers.
I definitely want to talk to her about the Black Swan because I have a background in classical ballet.
Oh, the Black Swan movie. Yeah.
I want to talk to her about that, about her training, what it was like for her, because she trained as an adult. Just I would love to talk to her about the Black Swan.
That was an intense movie when we saw that in theaters. That was an intense movie.
Yeah, psychological thriller.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if anyone else.
When you watch the Black Swan, Jen, like does the ballet seem real to you as somebody who knows?
I chose not to watch the Black Swan because some of the elements, what the movie talked about, it is a real thing. There is toxicity, more so back in the day, and I think the ballet world has really making improvements with the mental health arena, but it can be like that. I personally never have known anything that went that far extreme, but like definitely like the competition and the rivalry, especially when you have the goal of wanting to get to that level of success as a professional dancer, because that was my goal. I wanted to be a principal with a well-established company, and I had dream roles. So it's easy to get into that rivalry, especially when you have stage moms. That's a whole nother element.
Isn't there an element or a reality show that went on for too long called Dance Moms that was messed up?
Yeah,
I have watched.
I refuse to watch
that show.
I've seen it. I'm good. Thank you.
I think my mom watched it back in the day. I got to be honest with you. That show. I mean, there's a lot of shows on television these days that are a few French fries short of a Happy Meal. There's a lot of shows that should not
don't even get the fries. They don't even get the fries. The fries are not even in the conversation.
Probably not, but I like French fries personally. But those shows that I've seen on network television, there are a few things that are a few rings short of Saturn.
I will always be a woman that if someone says to me, "Jen, do you want fries?" Yes.
Yes.
And a milkshake, right?
And a
you want
milkshake.
both.
You want both, Grace.
With the ketchup packages, so I can put ketchup on each and every single fry.
Put ketchup on your fries. I don't think that ever hurt anybody.
Or Chick-fil-A sauce. Chick-fil-A sauce on fries.
Oh,
so good.
What is Chick-fil-A sauce?
I don't know what that is.
No.
You don't have Chick-fil-A where you live?
No, I do. I've just never been. I don't know.
You've never been
You've never been? Oh my!
I'm revealing I had very strict parents. We weren't allowed to eat fast food. We weren't allowed to watch movies. Like I'm behind.
Grace, I'm sorry to say this, but
drive through and get Heaven's Chicken.
I'm sorry to say this, but it sounds like, and no offense to your loved ones, Grace, but it sounds like they buried you under a rock and never let you out.
They buried us under books, right? They wanted us to be like scholars.
But on the other hand, you're probably much healthier than the rest of us.
This is very true.
Healthier than the rest of us.
I'm just gonna stop outing myself from now on, though.
Wow. No, it's fine. No, honestly, listen. There's no shame here. We're not shaming anybody.
Yeah,
look, everyone has a different origin story.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A. My wife and I, when we travel, and we're traveling on a Sunday, we're always like, let's go to Chick-fil-A. We never eat at Chick-fil-A, but it's always freaking Sunday when we have this idea. And so we pull into Chick-fil-A off the highway. We're like, oh, it's Sunday.
But I tell you what, everyone that has a drive-through needs to implement the template of Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Even though the lines are long, you don't sit. It moves. They have it figured out. Take the template and run with it.
I've noticed that when I drive by and see certain Chick-fil-A's that are moving through.
Don't let the line scare you. You will not sit. It moves. It moves. You don't sit long.
I agree, because my family and I have been to a few of those establishments and we've seen it move in a fairly good pace. So I'm going to give what is it called, the business of Chick-fil-A, where credit where credit's due. By the way, Adina says more homework for Grace tonight. Have Chick-fil-A sauce, which they sell.
It's at the grocery store. Okay,
they
that I
sell
can handle.
in the grocery store now. They sell this in a grocery store now.
Pick up your favorite fries, put it in the air fryer, and put sauce on it.
Okay, I'm on it. Honestly, let me start writing things down.
You really should write all this down. You gotta watch the Terminator.
You have it already.
Down Under. You got to go to the store and get some Chick-fil-A sauce. Which is
like this, instead of popcorn, just get yourself some fries with a Chick-fil-A sauce and watch the movies.
Watch the Terminator. What was the other one we said? The Rescuers Down Under. And what was the third one? There was a third one.
There was another
movie.
Was it The Never-Ending Story, or have you seen that one already?
I haven't seen that, no.
Okay, The Never-Ending Story is another one, even though it's kind of traumatizing.
You're going to need a tissue box for that one.
Oh, no.
What was the other?
Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock? That's the one. That's another one.
That's a good one. Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock is a good one. That's a good one. I like Star Trek 3. I do like Star Trek.
I haven't watched any Star Trek. Is that a good one to start with?
Well,
no. You've got to... No, it's not. It's a good one, but you need to watch
Down Under with fries and Chick-fil-A.
I think you should.
That's
it. Are you going to say Star Trek 2, Wrath of Khan? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, if you want to go original, yes.
I agree.
But if you just want to get into Star Trek, my favorite Star Trek film of all time is actually Star Trek First Contact.
Yes.
With the Next Generation crew.
Yes. Yes.
I think that 100%. Film is so enjoyable. Everybody
100%.
I've recommended that to, whether they were Star Trek fans or not, walked away from that film saying that is a great film. Loved every second of it.
No, I agree with you. That's a great place to start. Absolutely.
Yes, that is. The reviews have said it. People online have said it. If you have never heard of Star Trek, if you have no idea what it is,
man, too bad Takako left. She's a big Star Trek fan. She was lighting it up in the chat right now.
And this is a true story. This is a true story for you, Grace. When you watch that movie, after you're done watching that movie, which is specifically called Star Trek First Contact, that's what it's specifically called. When you're done with that, you can go back into this lovely playlist on this channel called For the Movie Nerds, and you can watch our audio commentary of the 25th anniversary of Star Trek First Contact. Because that film was a freaking blast. That movie
is unbelievable.
It's my favorite Star Trek movie of all time, point blank. It's the movie that actually made me a Trekkie. It's the movie that made me a Trek fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And by the way, Brian, I said that to Adina one of the first times I saw her. I said, Adina, I just want to let you know, I converted to Trekkieism because I finally saw this little film called Star Trek First Contact, and it absolutely blew my mind to the point where I said at the end of the movie, this is a film. Like, this is a film. This is a great film. And I told her, I said, I'm a Trek fan now because I want to see all the Treks now. I want to see them all. Like, give me all the Star Trek. Give it to me.
Yeah.
And she approved.
It's a great film.
Adina
it's not
approved.
just a great Star Trek film. It's a
film, period.
Fantastically written, acted, shot.
Directed.
The music's phenomenal. Cinematography is gorgeous.
The
It's
effects
well-paced.
hold up. The effects hold up 25 years later.
It is truly a wonderful film.
Yeah, that I mean, you think Terminator is gonna blow your mind? Like Star Trek: First Contact is gonna push it into overdrive, man. It's You know what, Grace? Where we're going, we don't need roads. It's honest to God. That's another reference that you may not recognize, and that's okay. That's okay. We got plenty of them. By the way, let's see here. Adina says that I agree that it goes on everything fried regarding the sauce or whatever it was. We were talking about Chick-fil-A earlier. Adina says, haven't watched any Star Trek, have we?
Oh.
No.
All right.
And then, by the way, the characters, RB says Kia Ora. Who's that? I'm not sure who that is, RB. I apologize.
You might be tagging someone in the comments.
Never mind. Who knows? Let's see. Adina says, agree that First Contact is a reasonable way to start down the amazing franchise that is Trek.
I have to do it then. I've been wanting to get into Star Trek. Obviously, there seems like there's be some overlap for somebody who likes Star Wars.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. I've got a 96-year-old grandfather who still is confused when he says, so what's the difference between Star Wars and Star Trek? And he can't figure it out. So I'm like, I'm the Star Trek guy. Your other son-in-law is the Star Wars guy. So
that is like such.
But then he's confused. I like both. He's like, I'm confused. You like both? Why can't I like both?
Yeah, exactly. Where is that written down?
Galaxies. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. We can all get
all
along.
Out there.
Oh, by the way, Kia Ora means hello over here in New Zealand. Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah,
all the way from New Zealand.
What time is it in New Zealand right now? It must be
the
the next day.
RB, what time is it where you are in New Zealand, man? Oh my gosh. And then Adina says Kia Ora is a greeting in Maori. Oh my god. Wow.
How did she know that? How'd you know that, Adina? Oh, wait, you've been to New Zealand. That's how. She's been to New Zealand, I think.
You've been to New Zealand? Adina, have you been to New Zealand?
Did you go to a place called Hobbiton?
I think so.
Stop.
Did you go to the Shire? Did you see Bilbo Baggins? We're here for the Ponzi Pony. Our business is our own.
Oh wow, it's 2:15.
Oh my
wow.
gosh. RB all the way from New Zealand. Thank you so much for being with us. No matter what time it is where you are.
Yeah.
Thank you for being. My gosh, we're getting people from all over the map here.
She was at the Shire.
Adina says, yes, I was at the Shire. I have pictures. It's awesome. Great. Thanks for rubbing that in our faces, Adina. Thank you.
Yay.
I was at the Shire.
That's on my bucket list. I want to go to the Shire.
Now I want to do that like
do you want to go to the Shire?
Oh, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
Do it in a heartbeat. Guess what? All four of us should gather together, put our funds together, and take a magical trip overseas together as a family. And go to the Shire.
And put it on all of our platforms.
Can we do that? We should make a vlog out of it, Grace.
I'm down.
Don't look at me. I'm not a vlogger.
No. Jen and I can do it. We're
okay.
Yeah.
You just have to.
We could do it all special edition style, like in the extended edition of Lord of the Rings. You know, have like 50 zillion hours of special extra stuff while we're
watch the extended editions. I don't know what you're doing. Watch the extended editions.
Oh, I know. Yep.
Adina says the Shire.
They're within arm reach of my hand right here.
The Shire is still there, sitting there peacefully, waiting for you to visit. Yeah.
Wow. We should all go together and have fun as a family. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
That would be great.
But as far as what I would carve into the wall here, I would carve into the wall a Rocky III reference called "Eye of the Tiger."
Nice.
Because if you don't have an eye of the eye of the tiger, you're gonna lose the fight. You're gonna lose the fight. You're gonna lose the fight.
Greatest song ever written.
By the way, that's one of the better installments of the Rocky franchise. Is Rocky III? I love that movie. Rocky III is great, and Clubber Lang, played by Mr. I Pity the Fool, Mr. T. I mean, come on, get out of here. It's great stuff. By the way, that's what I would carve on the wall. Eye of the Tiger. By the way, Eye of the Tiger has been rated as like the #1 motivational rock song of all time.
Yep.
So
I play it when I wake up in the morning, when I'm cooking dinner, when I'm shaving. I mean, that song's on speed dial practically for me. I don't feel like myself. Let's go. Eye of the Tiger.
There's a new rendition that I've gotten into. There's
where is it?
A duo called the Two Cellos. They do a lot of crossover with classical music. They've done Eye of the Tiger, and I love their rendition of it.
It's phenomenal.
I love to listen to that one when I go running.
Can you DM that to me? Because I haven't heard that yet. Can you DM it? Someone's got to Send that to me via DM. Brian, somebody.
New cellos are flipping fantastic. They
I never
have
heard
so
of
many raw crossovers. Brilliant.
I never heard of these individuals.
I'm on
You're gonna
it.
have to send
I'm
me
doing
some-
it right now.
Send me some links here, brother. RB says, shoot,
right.
take me back with you if you come. I want to get out of this rock and go to the Shire. That's RB if you want to join us. Who knows? Anything's possible. With that being said, if you were known as a scoundrel in the galaxy far, far away, gee, I wonder who that could be. Would you rather work as a smuggler or a bounty hunter, Jen, and why? Would you rather be a smuggler or a bounty hunter?
I'm going bounty hunter. I want to be a bounty hunter.
Any particular reason as to why?
I just want to.
Well, what if somebody walks up to you?
Sounds like fun.
What if somebody walks up to you, or you hear a conversation with two people in the back, and they say, "Bounty hunters, we don't need this scum." Yes, sir. Sorry.
They better hope I'm in a good mood, because I'll probably knock them out.
No,
I'm highly offended.
no disintegration, as you wish.
You don't like bounty hunters? Kapah!
God. What about you, Brian? If you were a scoundrel, which I know you're not, but if you were a scoundrel in a galaxy far, far away, would you rather work as a smuggler or what is known as a bounty hunter? And why?
I would say bounty hunter because they're earning the money, not, they're like hunting people who owe money, not
we could get
doing
a job.
Han Solo and obviously always in debt and not able to pay and having to dump cargo and all that stuff. So I want to be a bounty hunter, and I want to look cool. Like I feel like in my head, bounty hunters have better outfits too than most smugglers, except for. I mean, Han Solo's outfit's pretty great.
I mean, look at Fennec Shan. I love Fennec.
Yeah.
I love her outfit.
That's true.
She's
a great outfit.
That outfit of Fennec Shan's is becoming more and more widely available as a cosplay outfit or an everyday outfit.
I think it's probably because, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not a cosplayer by any means, but it just seems like if I were to attempt that, it's probably a very simple cosplay to replicate. It doesn't have a lot of detail like other cosplay characters that you would need to do.
Yeah, I would venture to say so. A friend of ours here at and I quote channel, Mary Fan, who's a sci-fi writer and a member of Crazy 8 Press, she has cosplayed as Fennec Shand in the past. She may have made it herself. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that, Mary Fan. If I'm misquoting you, I apologize. But feel free to reach out to her on social media at Mary Fan on Twitter and Instagram. She is indie sci-fi writer, but she also cosplays sometimes on the side. So
that's really cool.
Feel free to ask her about that. Also, there's Nilda_listens on Instagram, who's about ready to cosplay as Fennec Shan, and she does DIY cosplays. So feel free to
that's
ask,
really cool.
Yeah, do it yourself kind of thing. So feel free to ask her any questions about the Fennec Shand outfit, because I think she's either working on it now or she's done so in the past. Feel free to send her a DM if you must. She's a really big Star Wars fan, and she's got a lot of great tips for people who are cosplaying. So feel free to reach out to her. There you go. See, we're helping everybody out here. That's what we do. Indie supports indie. That's what we do on these shows. But if, gosh almighty. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Grace, what are you going to be? Scoundrel or a bounty hunter? What are you going for?
I'm going to have to be a scoundrel. A bounty hunter seems stressful. Like, I would be stressed about having to kill people. I just don't think that works with my personality. And I take Brian's point about like smugglers, always having to be on the lookout for the next job. So I'd want to be an elevated smuggler. I'm thinking I wouldn't model myself after Han Solo. I'd model myself after like Kira, who was like, she was like running the smugglers, right? I get to wear the pretty dresses, be behind the scenes, a little shadowy, but also like cool and badass and like ready to fight when needed.
Wow.
Good one.
Good answer.
All these answers are so intelligent. I'm over here with the weak sauce. I'm gonna say a smuggler because I want to live like that song says from the little band known as Aerosmith. Living on the edge, living on the edge. Like, I just want to live on the edge, man. I want to live on the edge like hardcore. and I want to be confronted by people. I welcome the conflict. I welcome the challenge. I welcome the competition. I want to be the best smuggler that ever was, and I want someone to point a gun at my chest and say, "Good tutte solo." Yes, as a matter of fact, I was just going to see your boss. Tell Jabba that I got his money. Soon, pitale. I just want to be confronted by some punk who thinks he can one-up me by having me sit down across from him at a bar somewhere.
Well,
and then I'm going to pull my best.
Mind, bounty hunters can be assigned to you.
True. But if someone confronts me, I'm going to sit down with them in a bar. I'm going to quietly unhook my, my belt there, and get my gun out. Click it like this, and then if he comes at me, I'm just going to be like, yes, I bet you have. Boom! Just shoot him right in the face and let his head plop down on that table, and then take one of my golden credit coins out and say, sorry about the mess. And just chuck it at the bartender for him to clean up that mess. And I'm going to walk out into the sunset with my head held high. And then you know what I'm going to do? As soon as I walk out of the bar, I'm going to give myself 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Woo! That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. That's exactly how I'm going to do it. And that's how every smuggler in this world should do it. When you do something right and you're the world champion, brother, you walk out of that room, you give yourself 2 claps and a Ric Flair. That's what you do. Yeah.
It's kind of the most awkward slow walk though. That Han Solo does in all the movies. It's so kind of slow and awkward, and it's like,
very slow.
Is anybody looking at me? Like anybody, it's very.
It's reminding me of the
walk,
new game coming out I think it's called Outlaws.
Yeah.
Is it called Outlaws?
I think so. I really want to play that game. I'm looking forward to that one.
Is this a Star Wars game or just a Western game?
It's a Star Wars game, yeah.
Oh, it is a Star Wars game. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
I don't keep up to date with the
new
new video game stuff because I quit being a gamer cold turkey like many years ago, Grace. I'm sorry.
No, I don't either. I saw the trailer on YouTube. I've also never played a video game. Don't worry.
It's called Outlaws. I got to sit down and watch this trailer now because I like Outlaws.
I think they already have up the first 10-minute playthrough of it.
First 10-minute trailer.
It looks really cool because in this game, because this character is a smuggler. With the line of question that we're answering, this character is a smuggler, but it's really cool because in this game you actually get to get in her starship, and you get to experience going into hyperspace in this game, and it's like in the first 10-minute play. It's really cool.
I'm gonna have to look up this game footage on the internet.
Yeah.
This is on YouTube, you say? Okay.
Yeah, the both the trailer and the first 10-minute playthrough is already up on the gaming channels. So check it out.
I'm going to have to look this up, or someone can DM it to me later, whatever the case may be, vice versa. Anyway, for those of you wondering what the cannon fodder is going on, this is the Nerdy Cantina, which we are actually back on the rails now by talking about Star Wars. If anyone has any thoughts, comments, concerns about anything that we discuss, including Star Wars and the stuff that Grace needs to watch before something else happens, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. And don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. And if this is your first time here, welcome. We thank you for being with us, whether you're joining this live or what is known as the replay. They're always available to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to tell you this, but this is the last question of the entire deck of cards.
Oh,
we have reached.
I'm sad, but I also feel.
Wow.
We have reached question 125.
Oh my gosh, we did it.
Of this deck of cards.
Wow.
That some of us here have been from the beginning. Some of us have been on other installments of this show. And Brian, being here, and this is your first time being here, you get to answer the last 5 questions. So here's the 125th and final question in this deck of 125 conversation cards, focusing on the property known as Star Wars, presented by Insight Editions. # not a sponsor.
Please be one.
Please be one, though. Give us a call. Call me, maybe. There's the song. So here's the final question. My fellow panelists, here it goes. Princess Leia works tirelessly to make life in the galaxy better for everyone involved. If you were a member of the Imperial or New Republic Senate, what cause would you specifically champion, Grace?
Oh, why are you making me go first?
Because you're the law school student. You know how these things work.
Oh.
You can do this. You've been in the courtroom.
Repeat the question one more time, please.
All right, I'm going to repeat the question for everybody. This goes for everybody. You get as many repeats as you want to think about it. We'll play the Jeopardy theme song in the background. Hashtag we can't do that. Princess Leia works tirelessly to make life in the galaxy better. If you were a member of the Imperial or New Republic Senate, what cause would you champion, Grace?
Okay. I got it. Actually, it's good I'm going first because I think this might be the low-hanging fruit answer. I would work on the slavery problem in the galaxy, right? Like that was the thing that, you know, Anakin always wanted to go and fix. And I think it would be like and obviously he never did. And I think it's like, you know, obviously quite troubling that that's something that continues to be a huge issue in Tatooine and the Outer Rim as a whole. And I think there would be something really beautiful about like Leia going back and finally helping to solve it, especially because you see in the Padme books that the slavery issue is actually something that Padme worked on as well during her time as queen. So it would be a nice full circle sort of thing.
I love that answer. That's brilliant.
I feel so shallow with my answer, though.
Well, as I said, I think this one's the low-hanging fruit. Like anything else would be more creative.
I would say it's not, because that's not something I thought of right away. I think that's a well given answer.
Yeah, the slavery issue has actually been addressed on a lot of the live action television shows on Disney Plus that Star Wars is putting out. It's been addressed quite a bit, actually, and I'm glad that they're doing that, because when you think that the Empire is defeated and things are starting to get back to normal, no. There are still very dark, serious problems that are going on within the Star Wars galaxy that have yet to be dealt with in a legal, lawful manner. So slavery is just one of the many things. Yes, Jeff. Go ahead.
Just real quick, speaking of Princess Leia, a brilliant book that if you have not read it yet, The Princess and the Scoundrel, going off the questions that we have. Yeah. That is a brilliant book because it literally picks up the next day after the celebration on Andor. And you see all the events that unfold. And spoiler, it leads up to Han and Leia getting married. Surprise, surprise. But the other stuff you see happens, which we all know and accept, but then actually having a book to see what happens after that with the Empire, with the rebellion, and all the things that have to happen. Mon Mothma is in this book and how she works with Leia. So it's a brilliant, brilliant read, and literally picks up the next day after the Empire is defeated in Episode 6. It's great.
Wow.
I've also read it. I agree with you. It's a really beautiful book.
Yeah.
And like it's really nice to get further development of Han and Leia's story, because if you just look at their story from like the originals to the sequels when they're already like broken up, it feels a little bit sad. So it's nice to see a little bit of
because you're like,
happy relationship.
What happened?
Yeah.
I thought of all people, they would have stayed. That was outlandish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why, JJ? Why?
Yeah, I mean, that's depressing enough. And when I found out my good friends Kermit and Miss Piggy had broken up, I'm thinking, how can you do that? They're the two most popular Muppets in the history of the...
I would say this. I think probably Kermit just got tired of the hi yelling everywhere. Just anytime she gets mad, it goes hi ya. Like, okay, he needs to break.
Just watch The Great Muppet Caper with my kids for the first time. They loved every second of it, and so did I.
Did they?
It was, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did they? The one with our good friends Charles Grodin and Diana Rigg? Oh, my gosh, man.
I forgot how funny that film was.
Favorite.
Thieves aren't breathing down your neck. I'm going to put it in a safe. Why wouldn't I say Oh, man, The Great Muppet Caper. I mean, we got to catch those thieves red-handed. What color are their hands now?
Right.
That's funny. Oh my god.
Well, they dropped that line like 5 times in the whole freaking movie because they don't understand what it means to catch someone red-handed. They don't get it. And we got the cab driver, Beauregard, who literally lives at the hotel, but he doesn't know how to get there. He doesn't know what room his floor is on. He doesn't know where the lobby is. He doesn't know where Jenny is living at. I mean, it's so weird. It makes no sense, but it's a Muppet movie, so it's not meant to make sense. But yeah. I'm sorry to ask you this. I'm so sorry. Grace, have you seen The Great Muppet Caper?
Obviously not. No.
Oh my god! What is happening?
I've never even heard of it. Like
my
I
gosh!
vaguely know what a Muppet is, like a Kermit. I think I know what.
You don't know what a Muppet is? You don't know
I,
what a Muppet is?
I do. Like I have an image in my
I was
head.
about to say, Grace, come on, you have to know what a Muppet is.
You gotta know
How
what a
many?
Muppet is.
How many? On the other hand, how many of the four of us are currently enrolled in law school?
That's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's an excuse. It's not. I'll write Muppet movie down.
Just okay. So, Brian, I
No,
don't know how you
I'm
feel
with
about
Brian
this.
on that one. We are not in law school.
We are not in law school. We are not in law
Yeah.
school. Grace just happens to be involved in law school, which is great. We wish her nothing but the best with her studies. But here's the thing.
Absolutely.
The Great Muppet Caper is one of those outlandish but yet stellar classic 80s movies. So please sit down and watch The Great Muppet Caper because it stars two of Hollywood's biggest stars of the era, which includes Charles Grodin from hit films like Beethoven and Clifford. You got Diana Rigg, who played one of the most famous Bond girls in all of James Bond history and all Her Majesty's Secret Service with George Lazenby.
Okay.
She was in the original television series and back in the 60s or 70s called The Avengers. No, not those Avengers. A different team of
Avengers.
Way different than what you're thinking of.
Darn.
But
I know those. I understood the reference.
The Great Muppet Caper is funny. It's charming. It's got really funny one-liners and zingers, I think, in there, Brian. I think Brian would agree with me on this. It's charming. It's just charming, and I think you would really like it. I mean, it's a nice warm up to watching the traumatizing films like Neverending Story and The Terminator. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
I
would suggest The Great Muppet Caper first.
Yeah, that and The Rescuers Down Under. Those got to be your two first marks on the ballot. That's got to be your. Yeah, those two films are going to make you smile. They're going to make you laugh. They're going to make you enjoy life. They're going to make you get away from the craziness of law school for a while. It's beautiful. And Adina says, homework.
Yeah, okay. I know. I'm a nerd. I get it.
And then she
We're
says,
all nerds here. It's called the Nerdy Cantina. It's fine.
Adina says, if you've watched Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, you have to know what a Muppet is.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yoda
is technically he's a Muppet because the Jim Henson folks designed him, built him, put him together from scratch. And Frank Oz, who's very close friends with Jim Henson, the late great creator of the Muppets, he puppeteered and voiced Yoda, if I'm not mistaken. Did he voice Yoda? Yeah, he did. Yeah, Frank Oz
voiced Yoda.
So that's true.
What was it? Because we're speaking of Master Yoda, I'm being reminded of Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen when they were on the press tour of Obi-Wan. They actually talked about their differing experiences with Yoda and how Hayden was jealous of Ewan because Ewan actually got to work with the Muppet Yoda in episode 1. After that, they went to CGI for the other two films.
Interesting.
And they had to use a tennis ball for Yoda. So Ewan has Mark mentioned, I believe, that he felt really honored that he got to have that moment. But then Hayden's like, I think it's unfair.
Hayden's like, how dare you get to work?
I didn't get that.
I didn't get the Muppet, man.
Yeah, so
I got a tennis ball.
Yeah, he got a tennis ball and not actual Master Yoda.
And
Ewan talked about that experience, like doing that scene, how he had that nostalgia, like, oh my gosh, I am talking to Master Yoda.
Yeah, Mark Hamill. I mean, because a lot of people said behind closed doors, if that puppet known as Yoda didn't work, the film would have failed.
Yeah.
The film would have failed. It would have failed miserably. There would be no Empire. There would be no Return of the Jedi. None of those films would have happened if that puppet didn't work. And it did. And it worked very effectively, I might add. 40 years later, that puppet still holds up.
And we love him.
And we love him dearly. I mean, honestly, remember when he looks at Luke and says, good food, good. Like he offers him like snakes and cockroaches and this weird looking
I got very emotional with The Rise of Skywalker, seeing Yoda
Or you mean Last Jedi?
Last Jedi. Thank you. Last Jedi, seeing Luke and Yoda. I did get emotional. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Master Yoda. Oh my god.
Yeah, never thought we would see him again, but he pops right back up just when you think he's gone.
Yeah.
What was it? Adina says Yoda, Jabba, and that little pet of Jabba's. That was Salacious Crumb is who you're thinking of there, Adina. Salacious Crumb is Jabba's little court jester.
Yes.
You know that one. Wow.
You all right?
Doing these impressions, I'm losing my voice. So, what was the question? Oh, yeah. So if you're a bounty hunter or a smuggler, what do you...
what was the question?
No, you're
God.
Princess Leia, and you're like doing something to help the galaxy. Yeah.
Oh,
If
yeah. We completely went off track. I don't think any of us answered the question. Did we?
Yeah. I don't know. Hold on.
You guys need to answer.
Hey, Hollywood, what's the script?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here it is. So Princess Leia works tirelessly to make life in the galaxy better. If you were a member of the Imperial or New Republic Senate, what cause would you champion, Jen? Good Lord. I'm losing my mind. I don't remember.
I think one of the things I'm going to champion, and I don't know if it's mentioned at all, but definitely like for any of the history that the Empire altered, I would definitely want to go and correct that. Because especially with like in the day and age we live in, there's textbook companies that are not printing history correctly for kids to learn actual history with events. I think it's very important that we have all accurate information about history, both the good, the bad, the ugly, the very ugly, the things we shouldn't really speak about, but then we need to learn about it to grow from it. That would be something I would be that I would go after, is making sure that we have all of the information, correcting misinformation and putting the truth out there that was otherwise erased.
I'm so ashamed of what my answer is going to be now.
Ryan, how do you think I feel, brother? If you were a member of the Imperial and New Republic Senate, what cause would you champion there, Brian? Could be anything.
I don't even know if I want to say it anymore. But it's free Chick-fil-A sauce for everybody. And we're gonna sanction. We're gonna force Chick-fil-A to be open on Sundays.
That's it.
Okay.
Force them to be open on Sundays. Okay.
Yes. I would say now that's okay.
You have my support. I'm backing you. It's like yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, we'll start a new hashtag campaign. Everything.
I mean, it's coming from the real Pastor Brian. It must be okay.
Right.
If you say it's fine for Sundays, it must be okay.
That's good.
So, I have to also though echo my new friend Grace, because I actually support the fight against sex trafficking here in Northeast Ohio with my money and with an organization that our church supports. So we're very close with those folks, and that is an issue that is just, it's unbelievable that it still exists in our world today. Just absolutely ridiculous. So I would say, if I'm being serious, I would say it's in the Star Wars land and universe. Surely we can get rid of that too. But I mean, Chick-fil-A sauce for everyone is probably going to get me reelected to my next,
True.
You're going to be in office until the day you pass on into the force, sir.
I think Adina and your fellow crew members at the Big Sci-Fi podcast would agree with it. Free sauce for everybody, because when you get free sauce
and open on Sundays.
When you get free sauce and the other stuff that comes with it, whatever it's called, I think it's fair to say this.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
I mean,
this is the way.
That's fantastic.
It's one of the best catchphrases in the
now
history.
Din Djarin has to
changing the world one sauce packet at a time.
Now Din Djarin has to hold a Chick-fil-A sauce and say, "This is the way."
And Adina just said, "This is the way."
This is the way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yes, I do agree with you. And there have been a lot of movies and true crime stories that have been revealed over the years. And there's also a lot of documentaries that you can find on streaming services and other resources that are available to you about the unfortunate things that happen with human trafficking, yeah, it's messed up. It's terrible. It's awful. It's disrespectful. Shouldn't be happening, period. But unfortunately, it still does. But I hope that those things tend to end, and I hope new laws come into play that really help individuals who are suffering from human trafficking. Because my gosh, I've heard some stories, Brian, and it's a very dark place. So yeah, let's get rid of human trafficking. Let's help those in need, and let's help each other. By the way, let's keep it that way, shall we?
Yes.
Honestly, because human trafficking is just terrible stuff. But anyway. Let's see if I remember the Imperial Senate. Anyway, or the New Republic Senate. I'm so sorry.
Wow, Ryan, that was quick.
I know, because I remember the line from A New Hope. Sue me. What cause would I champion? Well, let's see. People with different. Well, I don't know if this is a thing that happens in Star Wars or not. I really don't. People who have force ability. Well, maybe not so much force abilities, but they just have abilities. I don't know what it is, whether it's mysticism or whatever. But let's not judge the book by the cover. So I would say better treatment for people who have special powers that may or may not be force related. Let's just put it that way.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's kind of my way of working around the whole thing of people who have autism should be treated more respectfully and be more employed and all that. Because one of my last jobs, Brian, believe it or not, was working with autistic individuals. And they're some of the most gifted people I have ever seen in my God-given life. So equal treatment for people who have special abilities or who just happen to be autistic, because that is my superpower and I'm not ashamed to say it. So, yeah, people with autism are great. We're like the next link in the evolutionary chain. We're the real X-Men, guys. We're real. The X-Men exist.
What my nephew can do. I have a nephew who is autistic, and the gifting that he has is extraordinary, and it's just amazing to watch him.
How old is he now?
He just turned 20. I'm not ready.
We're not ready for these people to grow up, for Pete's sake.
I was talking to his mother the other day. How old is he? What? When did this happen?
I don't know. You know,
that's how I felt when you said Kermit and Miss Piggy aren't together anymore. That's news to me.
It's the high yines. He just has to go to therapy to get that out of her system and figure out what started that, and he'll come back.
Brian, they addressed it in, I think it was either The Muppets that came out in 2011, or
it was one of the newer films, and the whole world was like, "What?"
We were shocked. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, dude, my best friend him and his wife broke up. Are you kidding me?
They're like, what do you mean, Miss Piggy?
I haven't seen that movie yet, so.
Oh well, it's out there. It's on streaming. It
was one of the events that broke the internet for us.
I think it was called The Muppets from 2011, the one that Jason Segel did, the reboot.
Yeah, Jason Segel's in it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, Amy Adams is in it too. Amy Adams, yeah.
I think that was. There was a lot of cameos in that one too.
There were Jack Black.
Nothing sacred anymore these days. We gotta break up Kermit and Miss Piggy.
I know. I don't know why they did that, but it happened. And Kermit, I'm so sorry for you, man. I do hope they find reconciliation. They get back together, and the next time I see Kermit and Piggy hanging out at Comic-Con, just be like, "Hey, you guys settled your differences, right? Like we don't have to be, we don't have to be like this." And then Kermit could be like, "Oh, hi ho, yeah, we did. We settled the issues. Everything's fine." Yeah, that's what I want to hear.
Pretty good.
Hi ho, Kermit the Frog here. Yeah, the Muppets are great. I love the Muppets. I always have, I always will. And I got to be honest with you, Brian. My favorite Sesame Street character, like back in the day, it used to be like one or the other, but now my favorite character is Cookie Monster. I love that character so much. Honestly, because he's literally me. He's hyper. He's excited. He's always jacked up to talk about his favorite thing in the world, which in his case is cookies. But like if you ask me,
Elmo is my favorite. I love Elmo.
Oh, you like Elmo? Okay.
I love Elmo.
He's still around. He's still kicking it with all his friends on Sesame Street.
Grace, you're not well read in the Muppets.
Yeah.
There is a fantastic episode of the Muppets where they had Mark Hamill on as a guest.
Oh,
and they did a whole Star Wars theme, and one of the greatest scenes, and one of Gonzo's most beautiful, well-acted moments was when he's playing Darth Vader and he's walking out from the shadows and they say, "Who is this masked dark lord of evil or whatever?" And he turns sideways and you see his crazy crooked nose. And he goes, "The world will never know." And it's one of the best. It's one of the, of course they know it's Gonzo with the nose, you know. But you check that out.
That sounds great. That sounds like the crossover I need too, right? Because it's Star Wars, it gets me in the door, and then I have a soft
Is it the original crossover? Perhaps could we say that's the original crossover?
No, it is, because when Disney purchased Lucasfilms, everyone was referencing that episode, saying the prophecy has been fulfilled.
Well, wow.
It was referenced when that purchase happened.
Wow.
Yeah, and many years ago, I think it was, I can't remember. I think Disney purchased the rights to the Muppets, so they own everything Muppets. So if
because Hollywood Studios in Orlando still has that Muppet, the Muppet Show down there.
The Muppet Show, and they got the Muppet movies. They have the Muppet rights. So if you ever want to go back and watch the Muppet Show, like the original Muppet Show that includes that cameo from Mark Hamill and everybody, it is available on Disney Plus. # not a sponsor.
Hey Disney, since you're watching, can you just do us a solid and do a Muppets version of Star Wars, please and thank you?
Oh, I would love to see that. I would pay. Honest to God, I would do it. I would. Why didn't they do that? They should have done that ages ago. But yeah, because they did a crossover.
I'm reminding them. You have everything you need.
You remember?
Go forth.
Do you remember the story time episode they did on the Muppet Babies, where I think it was either Gonzo or Ralph was telling the story? He's like, there's this great movie with these big swords and this great monster and this giant, like Darth Vader's going after Luke and he's got swords crossing over that. Like he was going nuts analyzing Star Wars, and I'm like, dude, this is a Muppet Babies show. Like you're talking about Star Wars on Muppet Babies.
So good.
Every
that
Saturday.
was the original, by the way.
Yeah.
You remember that, Brian? Yeah, every Saturday, brother.
Yep.
There were so many good things back in the day. Man, we honestly, Grace, I'm sorry that you were subjected to living under a rock, but man, we had so much.
Law school. She's in law school right now.
Among other things that have kept her away from pop culture references. Aside from law school, which is very important. I'm not saying education is not important, because it is. But we had a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
No, we had so much like hoopla. We had this essence. We had it all. Honestly, I mean, Jen, you can attest to this, right? I mean, we had all the animated shows. We had all the live action stuff. We have all this other stuff coming down the pipe. And then when the 90s happened, we got slammed with so much great material. And then you get even more stuff. And I'm just thinking, man.
All that, Keaton and Kel, Cousins.
Nintendo 64, you had Play Place at McDonald's, you had Play Place at Burger King, like you had the Burger King Kids Club, you had the really cool toys.
Remember when, I don't know if it was McDonald's or Burger King, where they sold those special Disney glasses with the original.
That was McDonald's.
McDonald's with the original movie film poster on it, and those were collectibles.
Yeah, Grace. We had all these.
We had some merch back in the day.
We had merch.
I love merch.
You like merch? You like merch? That's great.
Merchandising.
We had Disney glasses. We had Batman glasses. We had, I mean, gosh.
That was the thing for a long time. Anytime a movie came out, it was
they went all out.
They did the glasses and the plates and everything.
Remember the sunglasses from Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Remember those?
I never saw those.
Yeah. I think I've seen them. I've seen them, Brian. I just never bought them.
I may have worn a pair of those for a while.
You should.
I had my MC Hammer blowout pants or whatever they called them.
Yeah, the MC Hammer pants.
Yeah, I had that, and wearing those sunglasses. Let me tell you, people look when I walk down the street.
Can't touch this. Come on, guys. You know the song. You know the song. Yep. Grace, you know the song, right?
I don't know the song, but I have watched Back to the Future, and it's a great movie.
Oh my gosh, Grace!
No, I've watched all the Back to the Future movies I've seen. Don't worry, I'm with you.
Give her that. She's seen Back to the Future. I'm proud.
I think it was the second movie, the glasses, because they went to the future, right? Yeah.
Speaking of which, Brian, this is gonna make your heart jump for joy to no end. But did you know that Back to the Future Part 2 turns 35 this year?
No way.
Yes, and we're going to be
That
celebrating
trilogy
it.
is with arm's length of
We're
my
gonna,
hands right now.
and guess what, Brian?
Nice.
We're going to be celebrating that very movie right here on this virtual stage. So
I
you are
can't wait.
more than welcome. You are more than welcome to join us.
All
I
right.
think you would like it. I think it'd be fun. I think everybody should
Yeah.
join us. I think it'd be fun. But anyway, to answer the question, I would, yeah, that's what I was doing. Yeah. Champion people who have abilities. Let's give people more equal rights. So let's just put it that way. Equal rights for everybody. Let's do that. Right, Grace? Equal rights for everybody. Let's do that.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, write this. You might want to write that one down. Anyway, no, this isn't part of your law school exam that's going down tomorrow. Anyway.
Tomorrow's Sunday. Come on. Chick-fil-A and law school are
You know what
closed.
you can't do on Sunday for crying out loud?
You can't go to Chick-fil-A, Brian.
At least you could get the sauce from a grocery store.
Yeah.
We can get the sauce.
Is there a grocery store by you, Grace? I'm sure
I
there
do.
is. Okay,
Yeah.
then you can buy the sauce tomorrow. Buy the sauce tomorrow.
I will. I can do. I can keep you updated on the sauce. I think I'll get there first.
And I really want to hear your reactions to the Rescuers Down Under. I am very
Yeah,
anxious.
would love to hear that. That would be great.
Did you take one of my eggs?
I'm gonna do my best.
God, every scene with Joanna is just chef's kiss.
Oh God.
So here's a question for you. Here's a question this question's for Brian. I got a question for Brian.
Okay.
So Brian, now that we've finished 125 questions of this beautiful deck of cards, that Jen, Christie, we miss you. We hope everything's going well for you
Love
overseas.
you, Christie.
We love you, Christie. We're glad that Grace has been with us for a number of these installments, right? Grace, you've had a good time.
Yep.
But Brian, I'm going to ask you a question, and I got to know the answer to this because Grace and Jen and myself are very curious to hear the answer. So since you are the new person on this panel, you're new to the stage, you're new to the set, new to this kind of environment, I'm just curious, what are your qualifications when it comes to Star Wars? So here's my questions. Favorite Star Wars movie?
Ooh.
Hold on, I'm getting to it. Favorite Star Wars movie, character, TV series, and book.
Okay.
And video game, if you can remember for that far back.
I sure can.
And if you can name those 5 magical... Oh, and here's another one. Question number 6. Favorite Star Wars quote.
Ooh.
Okay.
So I'm going to drop...
What was number 1 again?
No. Okay, so
Take it
favorite
slow,
Star
Ryan.
Wars
Take
movie.
it slow.
Favorite Star Wars movie. That's number 1. Let's go one at a time here. Favorite Star Wars movie.
And I can only have one answer for each?
Well, yeah, you can't cheat like Grace did.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So, okay, I'm going to have
I'm kidding.
My sentimental favorite for favorite Star Wars movie is Empire Strikes Back, greatest sequel of all time. And that's saying something from a Star Trek fan who on most days thinks Wrath of Khan is the greatest sequel of all time. But I think Empire Strikes Back actually is. But my absolute favorite Star Wars movie is Rogue One, hands down. Because
love that movie.
They all die. That doesn't happen in hero movies too often, or action. They all died. We knew they were all going to die potentially, but we didn't really think they all would die. And
you could have kept maybe one, like Chirrut, for instance.
Yeah,
Chirrut Imwe.
I love
so
Chirrut.
good. Rogue One just to me just was phenomenal all the way around. Loved every second of it. What's the other quote? What's the next one?
Well, that's the best prequel we ever got. # that's a fact, not an opinion. Anyway, outside of Rogue One, no offense, prequelists. I'm looking at you out there. I see you. I see where you are. Defending those 3 itty-bitty little films. It's fine. But the next question was favorite Star Wars character.
Oh. I'm going to have to go with... There's so many great ones.
Mm-hmm.
I like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oof.
I like Ewan McGregor in his series. That kind of put it over the top for me with Obi-Wan. I think I like Obi-Wan. I love the potential for where they might go with that character for a season 2. I think that he didn't get enough to sink his teeth into in the prequels. He's a way better actor than what he got to do in the prequels, and they're giving him stuff in the TV series. I think he's one of the greatest actors of our time, and
Absolutely.
I love that he's Obi-Wan. So his Obi-Wan. Nothing against Alec Guinness. Grew up, loved Alec Guinness, but so I'm gonna say Obi-Wan.
Wow. Ewan McGregor's iteration. Okay. All
Yeah.
good. All good. All good. Favorite Star Wars TV series?
Andor, hands down.
Oh yeah.
I think Andor had some of the most riveting moments in all of Star Wars, and I'm talking when they're all locked up in that prison and you don't really know it's. I think some of those moments, especially the second half of season 1 of Andor, some of the most riveting television I've ever seen, let alone Star Wars. It was so well done. Andy Serkis. Yeah. Oh yeah. Just phenomenal all the way around. Andor, hands down. I can't wait for season 2.
It was a show that really worked week to week. Like the episode would come out and it would be like a beautiful, complete story. And then I would, obviously be excited for the next week, but I wouldn't feel sad waiting. Like I'd be like, I want to wait because it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love Ahsoka. We just finally wrapped up watching Ahsoka. And I love that. I love that for a whole, that's just fun.
Yeah.
But Andor, to me was just so deep. It was riveting. It was intense. It was beautiful. They just did such a phenomenal job of describing how these characters, why they needed to overcome the Empire and how corrupt and evil the Empire had become. And it's just
because there's for many years, for the newer fans of Star Wars, there's always this conversation of, well, we're just told that the Empire is bad and the Jedi is good, and we just have to accept that. Why is the Empire so bad? I love that we have this show that really goes into the nitty-gritty of, this is why the Empire is really, really bad and why we say they're bad. We actually get to see it. But then the writing is so well done that, like, in the first... the first 3-4 episodes, when you see some of the characters within the Empire, you start to care about them. I'm like, why am I caring for this person? Like, oh my gosh, just the way they wrote the characters. But then when they finally made that switch and turn, and you see, okay, now I don't like you now. Like,
right.
The writing is so well executed in the show.
We saw both sides of the equation.
Yes.
Not just from the rebellion's point of view, which I wasn't expecting. I thought it was all going to be rebellion. We saw both worlds and reason for being and reason for making decisions. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. 2 shows that begin with the letter A. Who'd have thunk? Yeah. It's the Ahsokas and the Andors. They're the ones that begin with the letter A.
Ahsoka's not the main character. She's on screen. She's not on screen that much.
She does a lot of walking. She does a lot of walking around and staring into the distance, thinking, what should I be doing? I don't know. Anyway,
I loved it. It was fun, but yeah. Anyway, what's the next?
It had issues for me, but Ahsoka had its moments too. So
exactly.
Unequal. But anyway, favorite Star Wars novel. Do you have a favorite novel?
I'm currently working through the unabridged version of Heir to the Empire.
Oh boy.
Which has been really great. Rogue Squadron is another one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And I guess that'll be my answer. I've read others, but those 2, Heir to the Empire is really shaping up to be my favorite.
Timothy Zahn, yeah. Gotcha. All right. Favorite Star Wars video game? If you can remember that far back?
Hands down. I'm not again, I have 2, okay? I played Jedi Knight, and I want to say it was the second one on my PC with the most ridiculous joystick.
Oh my God.
And I would play this game. I was dating my wife at the time. She was at Ohio State, and I was in Canton, Ohio.
Buckeyes.
Yep, go Buckeyes. And she would catch me every now and then hearing the clicks. She'd go, "Are you playing that game? You're talking to me. You're playing that game.
You're playing that stupid
and so I
game."
get in trouble. But I have a sad story. I have a
sad 10 minutes ago.
I know. I was like, we're going to be on the phone for 3 hours. I might as well. But anyways, I got up to the final level of that game. First time I ever got that far in a game like that in my life.
Wow, yeah.
My brother brought some friends over and said, we'd love to play this game. I said, okay, but whatever you do, start a new storyline. Don't try to play on my storyline. I've almost got this thing licked. I come down that night.
No.
He goes, by the way, we couldn't figure out how to get out of your storyline, so we just restarted everything. We just erased. I'm like, I never played that game another second. I was like, I'm out.
Wow.
But heartbreak city there.
Sorry.
But write in your condolences online, everybody. I years of therapy. I've made it through though. But I will say this: my absolute favorite Star Wars game was N64's Pod Racer. Played the heck out of that game.
Man.
I spent way too many late nights.
Played.
Yeah, I've spent I was up way too late.
Did you?
As a young man playing that game. It was so engrossing.
Dropping a lot of Anakin's yippee. Did you drop a lot of that when you were playing the game? You're like, yippee, man, I'm the man.
I was not a young Anakin fan, so I never chose to be his pod racer. So
I'm gonna be Anakin. Wizard.
I played as Anakin.
Wizard.
I did. I played as Anakin. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'll admit it here on national television. It's fine.
There's no shame in it.
Yeah, Anakin's cool. Like
Anakin's awesome.
I played as Anakin. I played as one or two other characters, I think it was, and I was just having a blast. It's a fun game. Plus, you're going 100. You're going like 1,000,000 miles an hour. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like what they taught us in '86, Brian. I have a need for speed. Ow! Yeah. There you go. That's all you do.
And we've had questions through in the deck about pod racing, and
we honestly, have. Yeah.
I would do pod racing in this universe.
You would pod race, wouldn't you, Grace, if the opportunity presented itself?
Oh no, I hate driving, and I definitely wouldn't.
You don't like driving?
I'll be in the stand.
I'm scared of driving.
Hold on a second. Why don't you like driving? Why don't you like driving? You're not a fan of it?
I just find it's scary. I got my license when I turned 16, like on my birthday, and I just have never warmed up to it. Yeah.
Wow, man, I got my license way later in my career.
Don't drive in New York, man. Just don't.
Oh no.
If you want to become a really good defensive driver, drive in New York. But if you don't want to drive ever, don't drive in New York.
If you want to become a really good offensive driver, drive in New York. I mean, you want to
drive in New York, Brian.
Especially in the Bronx.
The Bronx? You're talking about the Bronx now? Jeez. Wasn't there a Rumble in the Bronx with Jackie Chan back in the day? I'm just kidding. There was a movie called Rumble in the Bronx with Jackie Chan. It came out in the 90s, Grace. It's okay. You're not missing much.
Yeah.
It was funny, though. But anyway, yeah. And the next question for you, Brian, was favorite Star Wars quote. What's your favorite Star Wars quote? What's the one you like to drop the most? What's the one you love so much?
I've been trying to get my wife to let me purchase 2 T-shirts.
Oh my!
One of them that has that has Leia that she would wear, that says "I love you," and then the other one I would wear that would say "I know."
I love shirts.
That's my favorite. I saw that at Disney Springs in the Star Wars shop. They had hats. They had T-shirts. I begged her.
They bring out new designs every year for Valentine's Day. There's a new line coming out now with a different design with both of them on it. One is blue and one is white. Nice. And the blue one is Han and the white one is Leia. I love those shirts. Those are great.
Oh, I would love to walk around town with my wife, go grocery shopping, whatever.
That's so
yeah. Is she on board for this, by the way, if this happens?
Emphatically not.
Yeah.
So
she's not on board for it. Doesn't want to do it.
She said you will never see me in that shirt. I said, can I just buy the I know shirt? That wasn't going to happen either. So, but you know what? She's great in other ways. She brings an awful lot of joy and love to my life. So I can sacrifice that for sure. But yeah, that's my favorite quote. He's going down, and if I remember the first time I watched it on the VHS with all the commercials still in there, I remember just laughing. Like, that is one of the greatest film lines of all time. You don't see it coming the first time. No. And it's like, that's right, hon. I know.
I know. Yeah. And they rehearsed that scene over and over and over again until they figured out what lines they wanted to use in that sequence. And then finally, Harrison just blurted it out. And Irvin Kershner looks at him and says, we're using it. We're just going to keep it in.
That's the one.
Good move.
We're going to keep it in there. Like, they rehearsed that scene so many times. They were trying to figure out what's going to be
I
the
never
exchange
heard that.
between these two characters. And then finally, Harrison Ford's like, dude, we got to get this in the can, dude. We can't be here all day. And then he says, let's just do it this way. I love you. I know. Boom. And then Irvin Kersh's like, we're going to use it. Let's use it. Let's do it.
So
and that's
good.
what ended up in the film.
Iconic.
And then, by the way, Adina says two things to us. First of all, she originally said she was bedtime for her. Then she says, hey, I learned how to drive in New York. Laugh out loud.
One of the best states to learn how to drive.
Is it now? New York. Okay. I've been to New York City.
You will be a really good driver.
I never learned how to drive in New York. I've just been to New York many times, but every time I'm in New York, we're either taking the subway or we're walking. We're doing a lot of walking when we're in New York City.
I prefer bus
You
or
prefer
walking.
bus? Okay.
Yeah, my friend from New York is also a big fan of the buses. He's always getting on me, telling me
I like buses or walking everywhere.
I can walk. I mean, I've walked in New York City. I've enjoyed it. But then again, maybe I should try the bus the next time I'm up there visiting Jen and company. Who knows? We'll have to say hi to each other when we walk by. Well, listen, this has been a lot of fun. And Brian, thank you for being subjected to our interrogation techniques. And when Han Solo looks in the camera, he says, "Didn't even ask me any questions." Well, we did ask you questions, and you answered every single one of them, and you passed with flying colors. So congratulations. You're welcome back here anytime.
Thank you.
I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to Inside Editions for the 125 questions that we have answered in 13 episodes of this series. This has been an amazing experience. I want to thank all the writers, everyone who's been a part of putting together those questions at InsideEditions.com. I want to thank all the panelists who have been with us since the beginning of this new show known as the Nerdy Cantina, talking all things Star Wars. I got to be honest with you. The person maybe watching and listening to this for the Nerdy Cantina, we're not sure where we're going to be going from here with this show, but I'm sure Jen, myself, some other creative minds behind closed doors are going to have some ideas of where we could possibly take this show moving forward. I'm not really sure what that is yet, but hey, we're going to do our best to figure it out. We're going to do our best to keep bringing you the Nerdy Cantina on a weekly or maybe semi-weekly, but we don't know yet. The details are still being worked out with our executives and producers in the backstage area. But we are looking forward to continuing this journey of diving into the galaxy far, far away, because Lord knows there's new TV shows coming out. There's new movies that are going to be coming out in the next couple of years. There's going to be some new games. There's going to be some new books that Jen and everyone else, for that matter, are going to be reading in their local library, including Grace. So,
books.
Books. All you got to do is take a look. It's in a book. Come on. We all know that theme song, guys. And if you don't know what we're talking about, Google it after this show. But I want to take this opportunity to say thank you for the person who may be watching or listening to this. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you to our panelists. Jen, if someone's watching this and want to find out more about you, where can they find you?
So you can follow me on my Instagram, on Twitter. I have Instagram, rocking_your_bald. That is my podcast called Rocking Your Bald, where I discuss things alopecia, plus other things coming up. Season 2 is going to launch in April. All of season 1 is available on your favorite podcasting listening platforms. And you can also follow me on my personal handle, Jen Adaminia Gadowski, on Instagram, Clubhouse, and Twitter. Clubhouse, I run a club called the Star Wars Universe Club, where we talk about current TV shows, movies. We're doing a book club right now. We're going through High Republic. So it's a lot of fun. Come and check us out.
Smashing. That's beautiful. It's lovely. Thank you, Jen, for being here. Do really appreciate it. Thank you to your lovely cats who are sitting in the background somewhere, crawling up all over your couch.
Yes.
It's been wonderful having you here, and we hope to have you back really soon. Grace, it's been so great to have you back here. Congratulations on all your success. When we hear the congratulations are in order, you've landed a spot on one of the biggest podcasts in the history of American television or streaming. So if a person wants to know more about you and the great things that you are doing and some of the newer things that you are experiencing, including watching some of the greatest films of all time, where can they follow you on social media, Grace? Where can they find you?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you so much again for having me. This has been really, really fun. And if anyone is interested in following me on social media, my Instagram is @gals_of_the_galaxy. I mostly post Star Wars related content on that Instagram, a lot of cosplay, but I also have a little bit bit of Marvel sprinkled in, a little bit of Game of Thrones. Lately, a little bit of Percy Jackson. I've been in a real Percy Jackson era, Lord of the Rings. And occasionally also just law things that I think are funny or that somewhat overlap with fandom, or sometimes they don't overlap and I just post them anyway. Because you know what? That's what we have to do. So yeah, I hope you guys will come check out my Instagram, and I also usually post if I'm ever on a podcast there. But Ryan really hypes me up. I'm an infrequent podcaster, but I'm always excited to get invited to do things like Nerdy Cantina.
Yeah, you're moving up in the world, and we congratulate you on all your success and everything that's going to happen for you moving forward. So, Grace, thank you for being with us. It's great to see you, and congratulations on your new cosplays, your new gig with the podcast that's going on right now. Congratulations on that. And we look forward to hearing all these wonderful, magical thoughts on these epic movies that you are going to be witnessing greatness to and sharing your thoughts with us through social media. We're very excited too.
Absolutely. I'll post about it on my story, okay? When I get the Chick-fil-A sauce, I'll put it on my story. Easy.
Please do it. We want to hear all about your incredible stories and your incredible movie-going experiences watching these great cinematic masterpieces.
Okay, I'll tell you what I do. I promise.
So, well, in the words of the Pointer Sisters, we're so excited and we just can't hide it. But we're so happy for you, and congratulations on everything. Honest to God, Brian. I got to tell you something, brother. You're new here. You came in here not knowing what really to expect. You came in with baptism by fire by answering not only 5 questions, but you answered 6 or 7 more that we threw you to the proverbial lion's den towards, and you passed it with flying colors. So congratulations to you and everything that you're doing. But if someone is watching or listening to this and they want to find out more about you and your eccentricities or whatever it may be, and your collecting habits, I should say, where can they follow you on social media, Mr. Brian Donahue?
Instagram at the Real Pastor Brian. And the podcast, you can follow us on Instagram at the Big Sci-Fi Podcast. We've got a Facebook group as well. Just type in the Big Sci-Fi Podcast, it'll come up. I'm also a musician, got a couple other podcasts too, so that you'll get links to that if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook. That's the best way. And listen to more podcasts like this and the Big Sci-Fi. We'd appreciate it.
Wow, you play it, man. Is there anything you don't do? I feel like you do 50 shades of everything. My gosh, man, you got some.
I do not eat at Chick-fil-A on Sundays.
No, you don't.
That does not happen.
No, that's completely understandable, though. We respect all businesses who wish to be closed on certain days of the week or the weekend, for that matter. So let's respect the small businesses that are out there. Brian, in all honesty, brother, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you're willing to come back very soon and share more thoughts about Star Wars, maybe some other sci-fi properties that you may be overly familiar with. I don't know if that's okay with you, but you're more than welcome to come back here. And congratulations on everything that you and the Big Sci-Fi Podcast crew are doing. And as they say, live long and prosper, Brian.
My friend, live long and prosper.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for being with us here, good sir. My name is Ryan of And I Quote Channel. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RyanRPM5 should you want to indulge in my crazy movie quoting habits or TV show habits for that matter, Brian. Thank you so much for being here. This has been a lot of fun. Don't forget to like and share this video with all of your closest friends. We're this close, ladies and gentlemen, this close to hitting that magical number known as 1,000. Once we do, we're going to throw a great big live stream. It's going to include returning favorites such as law school extraordinaire known as Grace. You know, we're going to have Jen here. We're going to have Brian here. Maybe Adina will like to tell us about her great driving skills that she learned in the great state of New York or something like that. I don't know. But they're all invited to come back. We're going to have special giveaways that are going to be given to you, our incredible fans/subscribers. We got merch. We got T-shirts. We got hoodies. We got coffee mugs. We got stickers that you can put on your car. Even the cars in New York can put stickers on their car. It's fine. So you can get yourself some stickers, get yourself whatever you want. We have plenty of great things located in the description below. The links to where you can follow all our panelists that have been on every single one of our episodes of the Nerdy Cantina are located in the description. So make sure you check all those links out. Check everything out that we're doing. We got Movie Watch Along coming back at you February 4th with 30th anniversary of Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. The week after that, we're going to be doing 25th anniversary of The Matrix with Keanu Reeves, as well as many other fine actors and actresses who are in that one. And yeah, lots of great things coming your way. And I got to be honest, this has been a great experience with the Nerdy Cantina. We hope you have learned some things. Maybe you've enjoyed this. And we appreciate every single one of you for being a part of this. This has been a lot of fun. We look forward to doing Nerdy Cantina in the future. But in the meantime, like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell to be notified when our new videos go up or they go live. And remember, life is better when embracing the nerd within you. And remember, the Force will be with you always. Take a look.
There's so many. Has anyone been to them all?
Not likely.
I want to be the first one to see them all.
Truly wonderful the mind of a child is.
Come on. When you find people who need your help, you help them. No matter what.
We have hope. Hope that things can get better. And they will.
Stand up together. Because that's when we're strongest. As one.
You won't be going alone. You'll have a friend with you.
No. I'll have a Jedi with me.
You might wanna buckle up, baby.
Rise
in the Force.
Take care of us, little one.
It'll take care of you. We had each other. That's how we won.
Force is strong in my family.
Its energy surrounds us and binds us.
What is it they've sent us?